Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Stormkings Thunder. I hope you've all had a great week and a weekend, and you're all ready to dive in and watch some carnage out on sea. We're going to start off with everyone rolling me a d20, please.
I thought that one was me for a second. I was like, no, damn it.
No, that was me.
It's 3 weeks in a row.
That's what I get for punching myself in the arm.
Cheers.
Whoa. Probably helps if I have the right title.
Oh, it's Coke.
What is this, 9? 8? This is 8.
8. Holy moly.
This is episode 8, yes, indeed. So, who got the lowest number?
Me.
That looks like Levine. Levine,
Yeah, it's such a good day for it too.
why don't you go ahead and tell us what's happened? What's going on?
So, in the last episode, we all decided to try and quickly fulfill our mission of delivering the news of the attack to was it just the council in Waterdeep? I forget who we were supposed to be delivering it to directly.
We're supposed to deliver the message of that the ordning has
Right.
happening.
Yes, you
To
were
the-
supposed to be
to
delivering the message.
Lords. Was it to the Lords of Waterdeep?
Yes, to the Council
Was
of
that
Waterdeep.
that was it? That was it. I knew it wasn't. Okay. So we were on our way. Once we exited the catacombs after lovely intense fighting, we came out into the city of Waterdeep. It was already in the midst of being attacked. Buildings, smoke, fire were all around us. Drapus decided to be heroic and rescue a gentleman from a collapsed building successfully. We then continued hurriedly through the streets.
Hey. You cannot gloss over how I healed him majestically.
Drapus majestically healed the man despite Levy offering one of her potions of healing. So now Drapus's healing pool has been used at the very beginning of the city, but it was very majestic. We then
Heroic.
continued on through whatever adjective you like. We then continued on through the streets and were basically ambushed. A large party, including, I think there were a few, it wasn't gnolls.
Yes, it was a group of gnolls.
That is it. It was a group of gnolls, an eagle flying overhead, dropping boulders and rocks, which is lovely. The group fought and resulted in defeat and surrender. Levy was struck down by.
I think Drapus did something else heroic.
I'm trying to set it up nicely for you, and you guys are ruining it. This is why I don't talk. I was leading into your bloody heroic action, and you're all like, no, before she even starts the sentence.
Nope, you go ahead.
So, Levy was struck down by a barbarian Goliath very violently. As she was going to attack, he struck her down pretty much instantly. She was previously damaged a small amount. And as she was unconscious on the ground, the Goliath continued to attack her and sliced into her with a large, I believe it was a great axe, bringing her as close to death as she's ever been. After the Goliath ceased attacking, Drapus saw the attack and leapt on top of Levy while she was collapsed on the ground. He covered her with his body, and the group proceeded to surrender and were captured. We then woke up most likely a few hours or an hour or so later, in cells inside of a sieging catamaran tied up. Drapus melted the door and lock of Levy's cell with his acid breath. Am I not doing this appropriately enough for him?
I think you need to use the word majestic a little
Majestic. Okay,
Heroic,
I will
majestic,
do that. Thank you.
Brave.
Sure.
Handsome.
Any adjectives you'd use to describe Matt?
more. No.
Right
No,
on
no.
4 of them.
I mean, you could, I guess. I'll let it happen. I'll allow it.
Levy has to roll herself out of the cell. All of our hands and feet were bound. She rolls herself out of her cell and up to Drapus's cell, so that he could break loose from his ties and untie her. So the group is now out of their cells thanks to Larch's chicken McFly coming to the rescue and bringing the keys from the guard's shack so that we could unlock all the cells. We are now making our way to the top of the ship with 2 rescued council members, a barrel of gunpowder, and a fire giant above us.
I would say rescued is kind of that term is used loosely there.
Very loosely, very loosely. And there was a very long conversation trying to convince Drapus that leaving the wounded female councilwoman to commit suicide on the boat by blowing up the ammo's drop was a bad idea. So now she's just coming with us and not
She would have
staying.
died majestically, okay?
It
'Cause
would
it was
have
a
been a
Drapus thing.
majestic.
Heroically even.
There was a lot of heroic, majestic acts that Drapus did. It was about time for him to just throw one random curveball out
Just
there.
throw a war crime in there. That's why I don't. Yeah.
There was so many good things.
Would we maybe even call it valiant?
Valiant, I like that one.
Or
Maybe violent,
valorous, daring, bold.
Now every time Levy looks at me, she just sees me differently.
Now every time Levy looks at Drapus, she has a burning rage inside.
Mood.
That's
So
called a life debt.
It's a Wookiee life day.
Yeah, yeah. Because Levy really cares about things like that.
So, the 6 of you are in the second lowest layer of this catamaran, this large siege catamaran that was designed by who knows what, but for the strict purpose of sieging down the city of Waterdeep. Up ahead, you can hear the sounds of heavy movements, stomps on the floor. You can hear sounds of a bow twang, strings going taut, large rocks being lifted and loaded into a trebuchet. Sid has a large barrel of gunpowder underneath his arm. I believe it's uncapped and leaving a trail into the ordnance room.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, what's the plan, guys? You got from what the councilwoman said, there are 2 more, or there's a floor above, there's 2 floors above, and then the main deck. So what's the plan?
We were making for the deck, right? That was the idea.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So I'm fully outfitted now, right? And so everybody except Levy is fully outfitted.
Yeah. my
Everyone
armor
has
was
their
way
stuff
too
back. Larch is missing his sea glass.
I believe I threw mage armor onto Levy last
I
Yeah,
believe so.
I'm up to a 15 because of the mage
Okay.
armor.
And then the council people, were they able to fight or anything?
The dwarf has a spare weapon that you gave them. The dwarf is Lunar Opalto, who is a dwarven councilman of Waterdeep. And then Soraya Dortress is the elven councilwoman. She had requested a wand, but no one acquiesced. So she is currently unarmed.
Does anybody have a wand?
I got a staff, but I kind of need it.
I mean, I could give her a stick and tell her it's a wand. Maybe it'll
Tell
be
her
like
about
one of those
belief.
things where like it's
I
the
mean-
power was in her all
It's
along.
placebo wand.
I can just use the great sword. I
You
mean,
do
I'm
have
fine
the
with
great
that.
sword. I'm pretty sure there's a rat behind you.
It's a ferret.
It's a ferret, and shush.
It's some kind of weird
He's
snake
going
rat.
underneath
He's
the bed.
living
It's
his
an
best,
adorable little ferret. and I
living
wanna
his best
kiss
life.
it. Need to boop it on the nose.
So, what is the order here? Is it Drape? I believe it's Drapus up front, he said,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
with his shield and his long sword.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was Levy, then Larch with the torch, and
In
then
the
me
study.
leaving the trail.
Yes, and then where are the council? Where are the council people? Are they between
Center?
Larch and Sid, or are they between Sid and or between Larch and Levy?
I would say there in the middle, right?
Sure, why not?
All right. So we'll place the council people between Larch and Levy. Sounds good. Between the L gang.
L squad. Represent.
So you come up this steep set of stairs. Not very handicap friendly. And the ship itself is very sturdy. It doesn't seem to be swaying much. The occasional kind of rock. But other than that, it seems like this is a big warboat. So the tides don't matter much to this thing. And so you come on up and you are greeted with what the councilwoman said was the torture chamber and other assorted fun things. Armory, barracks, mess, and torture. And then above that is the crew's quarters, dry storage, a kitchen, and then above that is the main deck. So, are you being stealthy or are you just walking cock of the walk?
I'm not just gonna kick through this door or anything because I know that's my thing. But I mean, I'll do it. I don't
Character
care. You want
growth,
me to do it?
guys.
Character growth. I've learned. I'll put it to a
He's
vote.
evolving.
Who wants the door kick?
Guys, this keg's really heavy. Can you kick open that door?
On it.
Gosh.
All
The
right.
door kick.
So you
commences.
kick through the door. The door opens fairly easily. It wasn't even really fully closed. And in front of you, you can see some another large hallway. There's a few rooms, and then further down the end of the hallway, there's another staircase going upwards.
I'm gonna proceed down the hallway and peek into the rooms as I pass them by.
Okay. Proceeding down through the hallway, going from room to room, kind of looking around. You see a few people. They seem to be prepping some stuff with weapons and whatnot. Sharpening weapons, preparing arrows, reapplying fletchings and such. But they don't become aggressive when you appear. You can take them out, or you can keep going.
Are they human?
No, they are orcs.
And they see us, but they're not aggressive.
Yeah, one of them that's sharpening a sword on a whetstone kind of looks up, looks at you, and then just puts his head back and goes back to sharpening.
I look back at the group. I'm like,
It's still really heavy. Keep going.
oh, okay, I guess. How many possible combatants are there?
Going through all the other rooms, there's about 12 or 13.
Do I need to remind you of what your health is currently at?
I know better than anyone. And I keep going.
Yeah, so you're passing by several different rooms. there's over the course of this hallway, there's about 12 or 13 other orcs. There is also 2 gnolls as well, so there's 11 orcs and 2 gnolls. They're just refletching, polishing armor, getting weapons sharpened. They all seem to clock you, but they don't attack.
Levy, they might have armor for you.
Should I just go ask?
You want to go into the armory?
I'll go with you if you want to go.
Don't need an escort, but thank you for the offer. Here's my thinking on this. We genuinely have no idea how we're going to negotiate our way out of this situation. Would it actually be helpful for Levy to still look vulnerable? Like maybe we're not going to attack them immediately?
I'm doing this to like Sid's powder barrel.
Oh no, I'm so weak and frail. Haha, firebomb!
Honey,
Yeah,
I think
that was
we're
gonna work.
already engaged in nautical terrorism, so.
Okay, so I'll just walk in and ask the nice gnolls for a set of armor.
Wait
What
a minute,
languages?
are we pirates? No.
What languages do you speak, Levy?
Arg. Common, Infernal, and Elven.
Okay, they look at you and they just kind of...
Anybody?
They just kind of blink at you, kind of drool dripping down their faces.
I can understand them in 10 minutes.
Sid, your keg's getting fairly light.
There's just a pile of powder in this hallway.
Well, I mean, if we're stopped,
little
I'm not
brush.
continuously pouring
Okay.
it.
Alright.
Like I'm not gonna keep pouring it while we're
Okay.
standing still.
Okay, I will play along with this. I'm going to grab Drapus,
Ah!
and yeah, I'm gonna grab Drapus by the arm and gesture and tap on his armor, and then point at myself. I'll play charades a little bit.
They kind of glare at you, look over towards their armor stands, and then you kind of look back between the two of you. And one kind of puts down the polishing stone that they were using and just kind of slumps over and grabs one of the freshly set polished plate and just drags it over to you and puts it in front of you. There's a set of plate armor there. It looks pretty big.
You did point at plate armor. You gonna
There,
put it on?
well, if I can't point at leather, that's kind of gone now. So, yeah, I'll put it on.
Is there any leather armor in the room?
No.
All right, you gonna put it on? So
Does that take us 5 minutes?
10.
10.
Okay.
Yep.
As you begin donning some armor, your armor class is now 18. But throughout the next 10 or so minutes, the orcs all kind of put down their weapons, and they're all kind of standing in the doorways just watching the group of you.
In this 10 minutes, I would like to do 2 things. For 6 of the minutes, I would like to copy the Summon Lesser Demons spell into my spell book.
Okay.
And then with the last 4 minutes, I don't need all 4 minutes to do this, but I just noticed I can use my spell book as my focus with the arcane tradition I chose. So I will actually give my staff to the woman who needed a focus.
Okay. She. Thank you. Thank you very much. Not quite what I'm used to, but it should do in a pinch.
It's just a big wand.
Excuse me.
Super wand.
Costco wand. But yeah, you guys are all
Buy
being
in bulk wand.
you guys are all just being observed by this group of orcs. They're all just standing in the hallway, just kind of arms crossed, leaning, just kind of watching Sid with the gunpowder barrel, watching the trail, watching all of you.
Guys, I think they're starting to put it together.
I have a feeling we are walking into something they want us to walk into.
That's it. Cheese it.
Where?
Cheez-Its? We're walking into Cheez-Its?
Only if they're like the what are those over the burned ones?
Oh, toasted
Double
or
baked,
whatever?
toasted.
Bird
Yep.
ones.
This episode is not
Yeah,
brought to
those
you by
burned ones.
Ritz.
They're really good.
They are super good.
But hey, Ritz, reach out if you want to do a sponsorship.
We're about to walk in your cheesy treat of choice. We can do that in later.
So, unless anything else happens, Levy, you are now in full plate. It's a little baggy, a little big. You kind of have to cinch some of the arm plates and stuff, so they, I mean, not calling you smaller or anything, but you're not quite the same size as an orc. But yeah, no,
You gotta get your swole on. Do you even lift?
with her tail.
Yeah. My tail curls.
So now that all that is done, we'll keep going down the hall. Are they blocking us in this room, or?
No, they don't leave the rooms they're in. They're all just kind of standing in the rooms, arms crossed, just kind of watching the whole group. Watching Larch kneel down and start scribbling shit in his book and.
Oh, hold on. We're laying gunpowder down, and they're not concerned? Guys, do we know this is gunpowder? Is this like salt?
Jesse, you're being attacked.
There's a vicious animal
Oh no.
with
Yeah,
what looks
he's-
like a carrot.
It's a Grim.
Hi.
Yeah, let's just keep going.
Okay. So you continue on. Sid, you still pouring the cake?
Yeah.
Alright. You go up onto the 3rd floor. The door is once again mostly ajar. You push it open, and here you can see large sections of barrels and crates kind of scattered out through everywhere. This one, rather than being one long hallway with rooms, is basically just one long room with pillars and such. There's dozens of swinging cots, what are those called? Hammocks, spread between pillars and such. There's a few gnolls, a few orcs, one or two other Goliaths. And one of them's just kind of laying back in his cot, just kind of swaying with the boat, just kind of eyeing you up as you slowly walk through the room. As you pass through this room, there's another 15 or 18 assorted creatures. So altogether, that's at least 30 or so that you've gone through.
Idea for us to just go get back in our cells.
Sid, you're
Trappist, we're committed now.
Sid,
Okay,
you're
well,
railing the keg down, kind of avoiding so you don't get powder in anyone's boots because that'd be rude.
we're worried about being rude right now.
Yeah.
Is anyone else doing anything? You guys just heading towards the far end with the staircase.
My tail is flicking even more agitatedly. Levy will not
Occasionally hear
point
ting,
out.
ting, ting,
Yeah.
as her tail's
Larch.
just kind of hitting up
Yeah.
against the.
If there's a metal fence anywhere, I will just run my tail.
Larch, do you have a bad
Good thing,
feeling
Larch.
about this?
I always got a bad feeling when you guys are involved, but that's nothing new.
We need Admiral Akbar in here.
Levy wanted to
It's a
sit in her
trap.
cell.
It's a tarp.
It's a tarp.
No, we're not camping, Larch. Damn it.
Larch already has his sleeping bag out in his 2-person tent.
The
Ready to go.
dwarf kind of has the large maul that you gave him over his shoulder, just kind of head on a swivel, looking at everything. The woman, Saraya, she looks concerned, but just her face is stoic and steadfast. She looks like she's ready at a drop of a hat. There's stairs leading up, and a hatch at the top, not a door. You assume this leads to the top.
I can't kick the hatch.
I mean, you could do a quick handstand, push off. Yeah.
I will put it to a vote. Okay, I'm gonna go open the hatch.
Okay, so you open the hatch. It opens easily. And just, I mean, not that you're going to need this map or anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me
Yeah,
just...
last time you said that, we got taken
Not
prisoner.
that we'll get out alive.
So,
Betty.
this is the large catamaran. I'll just do a quick explanation. It's a large double pontoon. You're coming out of one side of the pontoons. The tri-sails are in the right at the front. There's a massive rudder at the back. Near the rudder, you can see a very tall, black-skinned, flaming-haired fire giant in heavy plate armor, a maul at his side. You can see several orcs, suntan skin, scars, battle scars everywhere, quickly loading trebuchets, doing, rigging the, making sure the sails stay folded. This boat is currently stopped. The sails are currently rolled up. The anchor is dropped, and ahead of you, you can see the burning wreckage of Waterdeep. And there's two large trebuchets, as indicated by the trebuchet pictures. You can also see the half-orc gentleman that bound and restrained Sid, who is also the one that cast those black tendrils. And you can see the large Goliath standing there, kind of leaning up against one of the railings, his great axe at his side, just kind of looking out towards the city and just kind of slowly doing pans around. You can see the rest of the fleet out here. You constantly hear the twangs of arrows, the snaps of strings as large boulders are thrown overhead, pummeling into the city. And the fire giant, as soon as the hatch opens and Drapus kind of peeks his head out, the head just kind of slowly turns towards you. Good afternoon. Please, come on up.
I'm gonna look down at everybody and then climb on up cautiously.
Okay.
I will also approach.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The giant takes a step towards it, and this thing, it's not quite as tall as the arms of the trebuchet, but this thing is very big. This is your first close encounter with a giant.
Close encounters of the giant kind.
Larch, you can really understand why the fire giants, out of all the giants, are particularly feared, because this thing is just radiating heat. The boat itself seems to be ironclad on the surface of the boat, so as not to singe underneath his feet. But even as he's stepping, the iron cladding, it leaves large red ovals after he stood in a place for a second. And he just kind of looks at all of you. Maul just kind of still over there by the rudder. He's unarmed currently. I see you decided not to stay in your cell. Why is this?
Well, we kind of got bored.
Were you not fed?
Yeah, we had some delicious gruel, but we think there's been a misunderstanding.
Not really a fan of being held captive.
Misunderstanding, please explain.
We're just messengers.
No, you are Sid.
Okay.
The
How do you
Blight
know my
Carrier.
name? How do you know that?
The Bright Master told us to bring you to him.
Why?
I only follow orders.
Who is the Bright Master?
He is the demon lord that we all follow. I don't know why he requested the rest of you alive, but I know he has something special planned for you, my human friend.
And does he need anything with my friends?
I do not know. Maybe just playthings. Maybe food for his dogs, I do not know.
If I agree to go with you, and we don't blow up your ship, will you let them go?
His eyes, these burning, large burning coals, slowly drift towards the keg under your arm. And he just kind of raises this fiery eyebrow. You threatened to blow up battleship captained by fire giant. Plan well thought out?
You know, we didn't seem to have all the information coming into it. It was better on paper.
I mean, the ship can still sink.
Oh, humans amuse me. Such short lifespans, they so self-centered and focused, so amusing. Return to your cells, and we won't punish you too severely.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
When you say that, the Goliath, whereas before he's all just kind of relaxed, kind of stands up to his full height, about 9.5 feet, and just puts his hand to the side where his great axe is. He just keeps an eye on all of you.
This doesn't have anything to do with the ordering by any chance, does it?
You feel just intense heat wash over you, Larch, as just these eyes of piercing coal peer at you. What do you know of the ordering?
I know a little bit from stories, but seems I've heard that there's an ordering in.
Your kind have no claim to the ordering. You should
Oh,
not
I've
know of
got-
it.
Sorry to tell you, but a lot more than just me knows about it. Word spreads among these civilizations.
Deal with you later. Now, all of you return back to your cells. We'll get someone to clean up the ash you're leaving around. And the Bright Lord does not need to know of this.
Let my friends go, and I'll return to my cell, and there'll be no more trouble.
And he kind of looks towards the Goliath. It just kind of lets out this deep, reverberating chuckle. You kind of feel the ground underneath you kind of shake a little bit. Oh, they're so cute when they think they have leverage. All of you return to a cell. Except
Now-
you council people, you stay. We'll deal with you. And the woman, the elven woman, kind of takes a step back. Large, you see, she kind of looks terrified.
Now, when we were below deck, it looked like the ship was made out of wood, right?
Yeah, it looked like sturdy wood timbers. But yeah, it seemed mostly wood. Even from the other side, like from land, as far as you could see, the pontoons themselves seem to have been wood in mostly construction, except for large cladding around it, just for protection and whatnot.
Can I make a check to see if this guy is bluffing about us having no leverage?
Roll an insight check against Tesvir, the fire giant. 20, very nice. As you're just kind of eyeing him up, trying to figure him out, he looks towards you, Levine. Small demonling. Why do you not obey?
Levy's tail flicks and she smiles and she says, I've never obeyed anyone.
Flicks an infernal.
Don't worry. Not Fire Master, the Bright Lord will sort that out for you.
I'm sure he will.
Korog, escort them back to their cells.
Is he standing on like ropes and stuff right now? Or
No.
is it just a solid? That's just.
Yeah, that's just the map, unfortunately. I don't have a... No,
this
this
boat
boat
is very water
is-
world.
It's all flat.
Yeah,
Waterworld.
it's all flat. At the front in the center, there are ballistas and such around, but at the front in the center, there is a large three pronged mast with 3 sails, and this entire boat seems to be mostly ironclad, so just wood with irons riveted to it.
Do these are the on the map itself? The ballista, are they there?
Yes, they
Like
are.
actually there. Okay.
The only
And
things that
then-
aren't there are the tents.
Okay.
There
And
are
then-
2 other trapdoors on the other side,
Uh huh.
and there are the ballistas.
All right, and then north is towards town, right? Towards the city.
Yes.
Okay.
North is indeed. It looks about 500 or so feet away.
Okay.
It's a decent clip, but it's not like they're using siege equipment, so I mean they've got to at least have some range.
Okay.
And this ship is like in the center of a large U shaped, or like almost like a bullhorn shaped armada. As this ship is the center prong, and then 2 horns of other large ships kind of encroach from the other side around it. Korog
So-
begins walking
Okay.
towards you.
Okay. I was actually getting ready to say, if anybody can I like set up? If anybody starts moving towards us, I want to move to this ballista, spin it around, and take aim.
Okay, it has a 180, not a
Oh, so it
360.
can't turn back. Okay,
No.
well then, damn.
No, they're not designed to.
I guess I
Just
wouldn't know
use
that,
your
so I'd grab it
super
and
strength,
slam it.
break it off,
Yeah, just have a
and then
have
use it like a
mounted
Gatling
turret.
gun.
Like in Halo, when
So I
you just
guess I-
grab the turret.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't have known that, so I moved up there and tried to spin it and just thunk.
Yeah, and Korog just kind of looks at you. Just a second here. Let me bring this out. Oh, sweet. TBDandD is live. Thanks, phone.
I have a question about the powder keg.
Yes.
Did it run out before we got up here? Or is the trail still like right behind us?
The trail stopped a few steps down.
Okay. So like within sight.
Yes. Let's see.
So we still have that if we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if this guy's coming towards us, I'm telling Larch, like if he takes another step,
Mhm.
blow this ship up.
Oh god.
Oh.
Larch does an arson.
You say this out loud? Sid, I sent you a message on Messenger.
To me?
Yes. Okay. So, Korog grabs his great axe, puts it on his shoulder, and takes a few steps forward. Drapus bolts towards the mounted ballista, swings around, gets to about 90 degrees parallel with the other deck, and just kind of stops and is like, shit. Tesvir takes a few steps back towards his maul. And I think we're gonna have to roll initiative, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my god. This is the end. This is where it ends.
This is it.
You had to go and try and.
Time to bring in Larch's brother.
I'm not done. I'm good.
By the way, Larch Hudson's brother is named Birch Hudson.
Well, man, spoilers.
I think I've already said his
Yeah,
siblings'
I
names.
think so as well.
Get mad on it. What were my brother and sister's sibling, or my brother and sister's names?
If you want to find out, you can go to youtube.com and search up TBDandD and watch the old VODs.
Get caught up.
Right.
Tell your
so
friends.
we're going to roll for the orcs. The orcs
Okay.
of good to bad.
Otherwise, nobody will ever know what heroic and majestic deeds were done in past
Indeed.
Or war
episodes.
crimes.
Or war crimes.
Indeed, past war crimes. Gotta love past war crimes, everyone. Those are great initiatives for the orcs.
What's the statute of limitations on these war crimes?
9 months.
Ah. So we're still fair game.
Korog, pretty good for Korog. Tesvir. Let's roll for Tesvir. Not very good for Tesvir. He's a big guy. He can be allowed to roll slow. And Fenton rolled pretty good. Let's Katie, roll me a d20. And Larch, roll me a d20.
Natty 20.
Okay, so the dwarf got a 23. And she got a 7. The poggies. Right, descending. So Drapus stands at the front of the bow of the boat, holding on to a mounted crossbow. Korog is beginning to approach. Korog is the barbarian. Tesvir has grabbed his maul, and before anyone can do anything, the dwarf Lunar charges forward into the fire giant and is going to take 2 slashes against Tesvir.
Guys, while he's
David and
fighting, let's
Goliath.
run.
Wait, I already threw the fire.
I'm slipping my ring of water walking.
That is an
Get out.
18. An 18 actually hits, and he does 13 slashing to Tesvir. And his second attack, another 18, another 7 points. So, God, I need to read. Lunar runs forward, grabs this weapon that you gifted him, and just slashes twice into the knee plates of Tesvir. And Tesvir kind of stumbles back, kind of supporting himself on the maul, and does not look pleased. The red orc's turn is going to run on over to the councilman, and he's gonna take an attack. Yeah, that hits. 8 points of slashing damage. Okay, pretty good. The orc runs over and just jabs Lunar into the unarmored rib, and Lunar kind of does not seem very happy with that. Sid.
Yeah. I guess we're doing this, eh?
Tesvir just calls out, "You're being foolish, boy. Get back to your cells. Your insurrections can still be forgiven." What are you doing, Sid?
I can't like have a conversation with him at this point, can I?
You can use your turn to talk to him. But the councilman did just take a large gash to the side, so it's up to you. Do you care
All right,
about the
I'm gonna
councilman?
bust out
Bust.
my Icar charm,
Okay.
and I'm gonna cast Magnify Gravity
Okay.
in a circle that hits basically these 4 guys.
Okay. So what do they need to roll?
Con saves.
Con saves. Very nice. All right. Orc number green fails. Orc number blue fails. Fenton succeeds. What's the DC?
15.
Yeah, Fenton succeeds. And Korog. Yeah, Korog just stands there unfazed. So what? So you
So that's-
take off, you break off this charm, throw it, and this large bead of magnifying energy just begins sucking them in. What happens?
So the ones who failed take 6 damage. The ones who succeeded take 3. And the ones who failed, their movement speed is halved.
Okay. So they will become
And,
sluggish and they begin kind of slowing down. Okay. Anything else, Sid?
I'm going to... Larch is still there with the torch, right?
Indeed.
So I'm gonna move up towards Drapus. Sort of out on that edge.
Okay. Blue is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Makes it over towards there. Is not able to get much closer. Green 30. Again, not much closer. Orange is going to run on up here, and he's going to take another stab at the councilman. Ooh! The councilman takes a large gash going from the top of the ear down across, right down to the just above the hip, and he falls backwards, bleeding out.
Oops.
Okay. Fenton is just going to look towards Tesvier and just say, "We'll hold them, boss, don't worry." And let's see here. I need all of you to roll me dexterity saving throws. Or sorry, hold on. Wisdom saving throws.
That's even
Am I a
worse.
wise guy?
Yeah, that managed to be worse.
Oh, oh.
Oh.
Okay, and Sid, roll a d20. Okay. So you all see as the half work with the wand begins kind of doing a swirling cast. You all begin to feel your bodies become heavy and lethargic. You feel yourselves beginning to slow down, but fortunately, Soraya manages to quickly cast out a counter spell, and you guys are not slowed.
I think I gave that wand or that.
Because that would have really fucking sucked. Because you guys would have had half your movement, -2 to your dex save, or your AC, and you would have only been able to do one thing a turn. Alright, Korog. He is going to start just walking up towards Levy again. Round 2, he draws his great axe. He's going to rage, and he's going to reckless. A 10. The first, he slashes against you, and you quickly kind of put your arm up just in defense, and it just slashes across your new plate armor. Fortunately, doing no damage. The second attack is a 25. So this time, your arm kind of still up in defense. He manages to stab up into the fleshy underside of your armor, and you take 13 slashing and 2 necrotic.
Levy is smiling this entire time, by the way.
Hart Schludson.
All right, Larch is gonna move back a little bit.
Bring it on back.
And then he is going to cast Summon Lesser Demons.
Beautiful. All right.
Right around here. So I roll a d6 to see. Hold on, let me put the spell in.
Right.
So I roll a d6. So it's 2 demons of CR1 or lower.
Okay. Let's see here. And they are abyssal, not devils. Give me just a moment here. Let me pull up that list.
They're basically gonna just start attacking the nearest thing that is not a demon.
Just one moment here. Sorry. Let me get that sorted out for you.
At least it's not the 8 CR1 quarter.
And it's 2.
It's 2 CR1 demons.
All right. So it's going to be a Maw demon. So this large rift appears in the middle of the space after Larch just does some curse words, and this creature with this massive torn open head, eyes on either side and teeth all the way down, just kind of crawls and skitters out right towards Fenton. And the other creature is going to be a Quasit. Gotta love a good old Quasit.
Classic.
Quasit.
It's like your imp of the Underdark.
Yeah, this thing just kind of flies out, skitters around a bit, looks around. It looks like a crackhead on meth, and quickly disappears. Manages to go invisible. Alright, so we're going to have the Maw Demon. Are they acting on your turn, or do they have their own initiative?
That is a great question. Summon demon disappears.
Roll for initiative
initiative.
as a group.
Okay.
And they have, yeah. So I
And they
think
have
they
their own
act.
turn.
They act on one turn.
Alright, so they're going at initiative 1 then. The Maw Demon rolled for them. Alright, Larch, anything else?
Nope, that is all I can do.
Levy, you have
Burn well spent.
this large Goliath in front of you. Your new plate armor, whereas once it was polished, now has a large gash in front of the right hand arm as you tried to shield yourself. What would you like to do?
I'm going to. What order do I want to do this in?
Do you want to break free?
Always.
Break free.
I want to break free.
Very quickly, I look longingly out to sea and then turn back. I'm going to
The door.
second wind.
Okay, boring.
Boring.
Well, I'll get there.
I forgot to throw the torch.
Okay, so you second wind, go ahead and heal whatever. So plus your fighter level, so 5. Pretty good, 14. So that's mostly what you took back.
Pretty
You
much.
did 15.
Okay. Yep. I'm going to take out my glaive
Okay,
and attack.
alright. So you have advantage because he reckless.
Yes, I do. Just wanna.
Betty's just chilling, watching the fun.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this. Okay.
Betty White.
Check going.
Betty bite 21 hits. Oof.
All right.
Okay. All right. Once again, you slash across him, and it hits, but it doesn't seem to do as much as you'd hoped.
Yeah, and I'm going to use my extra attack and burning hands him and the other two orcs behind.
Extra attack, unfortunately, cannot be a spell. It has to be another attack.
I can't.
No.
Since...
Yeah, because spells are their own thing. It's attack,
Oh no,
or
yeah,
it's a
it's
spell.
fine. It's fine. That's totally fine. Then I'm gonna glaive this. Glaive him again.
All right.
By the way, I'm
Glaive
happy.
again.
Glaive again.
You can't be cool
Nah.
with the
12. This time you slash across his leg, and again, a nice meaty slice kind of opens up, but he seems unfazed. His eyes kind of are slowly vignetting with red. He's focused on you right now. Anything else, Levy?
No, I'm good for now.
All right, Drapus with your crossbow.
Bink, bink, bink. Okay. So I know you guys don't know this, but I'm quite a powerful sorcerer. Okay. So
Really?
Do explain.
I'm going to Ray of Enfeeblement the Barbarian.
Is this the first spell you have
He's
ever
kept
cast?
it hidden for so long.
Okay. What does he need to do?
He does nothing. Actually, it's a
Ranged spell attack.
yeah.
So D20 plus your spell attack bonus. And you have advantage because he did reckless.
It's true. So we'll just do d20. So it's gonna be
13 plus
17. 17.
17 misses.
That mother.
It splashes against his armor.
my God.
No effect.
Okay.
And he just kind of slowly turns his head towards you and
Okay.
smiles.
Maybe you should tell him you're a very powerful sorcerer.
Hey, I'm a very powerful sorcerer. You're supposed to be hit by that. I'm going to. Let's see. I think I can make that. Yeah. I'm gonna come here.
Yep.
And then as my bonus action, I'm going to magic weapon Levy's glaive. So your glaive is now a +1 glaive.
Okay. Very nice. Anything else, Drapus?
That's it.
Okay. Soraya's turn. Looking a little concerned, looking a little panicked. She's going to quickly reach out, come over here and touch Levy. And she's going to cast Holy Weapon
Yo, all the buffs.
on your glaive. So your glaive now does an additional 2d8 radiant damage on every hit.
We're putting,
Everybody's piling buffs up.
we're putting
Wait,
all
what do
our
I
eggs
got?
in the levy basket.
Levy
No
is
pressure.
basically the only one with any health.
Pressure.
So,
I cast Dragon's Breath on Levy.
she is then going to use a sorcery point and do Misty Step and come right up over to here. Tesvir's turn. He's this flaming fire giant, grabs his maul, and as soon as his hand connects with this ebony and metal encoded wood, he grabs it and the wood parts just burst into flame and the maul head just completely mushrooms out into flame, and he just looks down to the dwarf's body. You should have told me the information when I asked. And he just upends and Gallagher's the dwarf's head. The dwarf just turns into ash and small bits of dwarf scattering all against the floor.
Hey, did anybody get that guy's name?
I guess there's a free seat on the Waterdeep Council now.
It was Lunar.
Mhm.
And he's
Bart
going
starts painting political ad signs.
he's going to step over and just through the muck and walk over towards Levy.
Mhm.
I suppose the Bright Master will forgive me for this. And he's going to make an attack against you.
We're so screwed.
That's a 17. Fuck. And he'd already used his first attack. So this maul, just as you see out of the corner of your eye, he says this, and you just manage to just dodge back as this maul smashes right into you. The bending and melting the metal it hits just kind of upends and cracks the floor in front of you. That was probably not going to be something good to be hit by. The Maw Demon and the Quasit. So we're going to do the Quasit first, because why not? Yeah, the Quasit's going to fly on over, and all of a sudden you see this small imp-like creature of like yellow leather fleshy skin just kind of latch onto this orc in front of it and just start gnawing away at its neck and its ear, and this orc actually collapses to the ground dead. That thing rolled pretty good. The Maw Demon is just going to eyes lock on to the spellcaster, and it's going to take an attack against it. 17 definitely hits Fenton. 13 piercing damage. This maw just clasps onto the side of the wizard and just streaks teeth marks through it. The wizard kind of coughs back, reacting in pain. Does not seem to enjoy that. Sid.
Not a good day, guys.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The dwarf's missing because he died. Okay. I was wondering, like, didn't someone have a natural 20? It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, it was the dwarf. You see Tesvir standing there looming over the large crack in the floor and in front of Levy. Levy's hair glaive is radiating this holy magical weapon. What's up, Sid? Fair enough.
Yeah.
Just SMH.
Yeah, that's all. He just stands there like.
Just no, thank you. I'm good. I'm good, thanks.
No, I'm gonna use damn it. I'm gonna come up behind Levy.
And push her into the water.
Great.
And I'm going to cast Vampiric Touch.
On Levy?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say, whoa.
On
He's
on the
already
Goliath.
turning. Okay.
I thought we had something. Okay.
So you have advantage because that hits. Yeah. All right.
Oh.
Just to see just in case it not 20. So 23.
So,
This is necrotic, I believe, so he is not resistant.
so that's 13 necrotic damage, and I heal for half, I believe, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yes, half. So 7.
Yeah, so you reach out, grab this guy, his veins pulse black, and you just see his life force, his kind of withers away a bit, and Sid kind of regains a bit of breath.
And then bonus action, I'm gonna down my greater healing potion.
Okay. Valid. 4d4 plus 4. So
Woo!
18.
Nice.
Very nice.
Oh.
Nice.
3 4s. Very nice. That's a good
And Sid
turn.
is back on top.
I'm on top of the world. All right. Anything else, Sid?
No,
Okay.
No,
that's
there's
it.
just a pile of orcs getting ready to go.
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of your turn, Sid, the Tesvir is going to take his legendary action. And he's going to make another attack against Levy. Where is he? There he is. Fucking 15. Again, this thing smashes down, and you manage to just do a quick flip out of the way. He seems to be getting angry. The heat around you begins to slowly increase. The boards under him are creaking and slowly melting away. This guy is hot. The orc's turn.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is.
Fire giant is Matt.
This one's gonna run on up.
It
and
looks like Ganondorf. It's accurate.
This one's gonna run on up and try and take an attack against Levy.
And
Fucking
nobody
11.
likes Levy.
Nope. This one's
It's
gonna.
fine. Levy's in the mood to fight.
This
Does
one's
the
gonna.
closet get an attack of opportunity?
Yes, it does. Yes, thank you very much.
Yay!
All right, claw. 13. That hits,
Hey.
Hey.
and it kills that orc.
Woo!
Yeah,
So
MVP.
it just slashes across this orc's throat as it starts
this
running
closet's
towards
gonna
Levy.
work.
And Levy, as it's just about to take an attack against you, it just kind of and falls overboard.
I mean, there's another 30 of those guys that we passed on our way up here, but
We're gonna take this win. We're gonna take
Yeah.
the little things. Okay,
Somebody
and
throw
as that
fire.
happens, I throw up the L behind me to Larch.
But you're standing
Yeah.
on the door, Sid. They can't get up here.
Oh, big brain.
Ooh.
I mean, there is the other side as well. But yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
someone go stand on that.
So this one's going to try and attack Sid. That
It's
is
just a giant encounter of whack-a-mole.
16, Sid.
Nope.
All right, it smacks into your armor, and it just kind of it twinges a bit because that's going to probably bruise, but nothing lasting. This one, Sid, you can make an attack of opportunity if you'd like. So can
Yeah, I
also Katie with your glaive because of your reach. If you want to, though, you don't have to.
No, I'm good.
I mean,
I'm gonna do that.
technically, I can cast. I wouldn't have a weapon out right now.
You can punch him.
All right.
Do you have spell? Do you have
These hands.
I do
Catch
not
these
have
hands.
Warcaster.
not yet?
No. What's that? The hit. I don't think it's in my.
So D20 plus strength. So you just roll a strength check on your character sheet. That hits. So it'll be 1 plus your strength modifier, which is 3.
Which is 3.
So 4. All right, Katie, do you want to take your attack of opportunity against him?
Yes, sir.
17, that hits. So
Oh, why am I telling?
roll your damage and then roll an additional 2d8, and we'll add 1 to that. All right. Now add 2d8. 19, 20. So you did 20 total damage. As this guy's walking past, Sid does a quick punch in the thigh, and he kind of topples over just as you decapitate him with the glaive, and his body falls off into the darkness.
The head just rolls at Larch's feet.
Ah! It just kind of looks up at you. Ah! Right. Fuck. Fenton, not liking this shit, is going to cast Banishment on the demon. So the Maw needs to make a Charisma save. It has advantage. No, this one does not. So 3. The where is? Oh, she's up there. 5, 10, 15, 20. It's another 3rd level spell. Would she do that?
Gareth playing chess against himself is my favorite part of this encounter.
Yeah, go ahead. Katie, roll a d20. See if she banishes, if she counter spells. 12 plus 6. Yeah, that easy. Fenton again begins to cast, and she just lunges out with the staff and just cancels the spell midair. And Fenton just kind of looks over and just kind of looks pissed. He's kind of locked down here. Yeah, he can't do much. Korog is gonna go for Katie. Gonna go for Levy, sorry. Advantage, he's gonna reckless, because fuck it. 26.
Yeah, that hits.
That is 18 total damage. And second attack is a 27.
Yeah, that's...
And that is 15 total damage.
I'm unconscious, boys.
Okay. And he just, the second attack smashes into Katie as Levy, as her body's already starting to fall down, just kind of bounces her into the floor a bit. He kind of turns his head and looks towards you, Sid. Larch.
I know what I must do. I don't know if I'm strong enough to do it, but I kind of have to.
Fireball. Right centered on Katie.
Close. Close. Larch pulls out his scroll of Otaluke's freezing sphere.
Ooh. On whom?
Centered here, so that it hits. So that it hits the fire giant. It hits him. It hits all of them.
Right.
And also him. It's a 60-foot sphere. Explodes in a 60-foot sphere. Each creature must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, each creature takes 10d6 cold damage. On a success, it takes half as much.
Okay,
and
very
then
nice.
The save is I believe it's a 15. It's a 14.
14, eh? And what level is this spell?
This is a 6 scroll.
So, first of all, I'm going to need you to roll me a quick Arcana check, please, Larch.
Yes.
Just to see if you're able to summon the energies to cast this at a higher level.
Arcana?
Yes, please. 21. Yeah, no issue. You needed a 16 or higher. You managed to bring forth the will of the energies and managed to smack forth this sphere of ice. Just one moment here. Right. Good. Alright, we're just gonna go with this guy. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 60. So whereabouts?
Basically putting it so that it's just in front of Levy. Yeah. So
So-
it hits everyone else.
It's
except
also
for
going to hit the
yeah.
Quasit and the Maw.
Yeah, that's fine. We would have to deal with them later anyway, because they're gonna start attacking us as soon as we're near them.
All right, so that is a Constitution save.
Yes.
DC
the
14. All right, the Maw fails. The Quasit has advantage because it's resistant to magic. Because of course it is. That's an 8. It fails.
Watch them be the
Poor
only
guy.
ones that fail.
Fenton. So
Still half damage.
Fenton fails. Korog is a 15. Korog succeeds. And Tesvir is he's a 28.
Still half damage.
Indeed.
So this will be 10d6 of cold damage. 28. A little lower than average.
Okay, not too bad. So, and does these orb stay, I believe?
I think it's just a one-time.
The ice lasts for 1 minute, but that's only if it
from
hits water. Okay. Yeah, so Larch quickly unfurls a scroll, summons forth the energy, and shoots forth a small bead. And this bead expands into just this wave of cold. It kind of stumbles back the giant and the others. The Quasit is dead. Rip in peace, Quasit. This guy takes 28. Not looking good. Fenton takes 28. Half-orc wizard's not looking good. He is resistant, so he's 14. He succeeded as well, so he takes 7. The giant and the Goliath don't seem too affected by it, but your little Quasit is gone. And the this one trebuchet is just completely coated in ice. It looks like it's going to be inoperable for the next little while at least. Anything else, Larch?
Now I will, as a bonus action,
Run the
sit and
fuck
cower.
away.
No, I don't do anything.
All right. Levy. I need
Levy
to...
unconscious.
Yes, ma'am.
Be nice to me, please. Cross your fingers, boys.
All right. Drapus. Levy falls in front of you. The glaive is still glowing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Like,
So
can I
you
pick
could
the
pick
glaive
it up. Yeah, it's a strength weapon. You could pick it up.
Yeah.
It's still good. It's still got holy weapon on it. So
Plus magic weapon.
yeah.
I think I'm gonna look at Sid and then pick the glaive up. Be like, she's gonna love this. Don't tell her about this. And I'm going to attack the barbarian from where I'm at.
Okay. So you quickly kind of look at Levy's corpse, and then you just kind of move her out of the way and grab her glaive that she was on top of, and ready it. So it's gonna be a D20. Actually, it's just gonna be the same as your great axe or your great sword, because your great sword's magical. So for damage, for attack, roll your great sword.
with advantage, right?
Reckless?
With advantage, because he did reckless. 25, very nice.
Gut render.
All right.
And then what's the damage for the glaive?
It's a D10 plus your strength.
Okay.
So it's going to be slash roll 1d10 plus, what's your strength? Plus 3. So
D10.
slash roll
Plus.
1d10 space, or sorry, slash roll 1d10 plus 4 plus 2d8.
A whole lot of dice.
Whole lot of dice. So 12
21
points of
damage.
slashing, which he's halved. So 6. Radiant, he's not halved. So that is 9 points of radiant damage.
That was my
And-
first attack.
Indeed. Second attack,
So
with advantage.
Go through it again.
17 misses.
Okay.
So he does that classic trope where you stab just between his arm and his chest, and he's like, "Oh no, the pain!" And then he just kind of smiles at you and just kind of yanks you forward a bit.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and pop a little bit of that cleansing water.
Okay. So 2d6. 7. Good job. You're back up into double digits. The spellcaster's turn. She's focusing on that. So she is just gonna do just gonna move to here, here, yeah. It's going to, that will, taking from Larch's book, kind of crouches down, smacks the staff on the ground, and a large cone of cold jets forth. So that's con saves from those guys. Fenton fails. Korog fails. Tesvir succeeds. Okay. Sid, I'm also going to need you to roll a quick con save, please. That orc fails, so that orc is dead. Okay, she killed an orc. 6, okay.
Killed Sid too.
So 30 points of cold damage. He takes half, so he takes 15. He takes a quarter, so he takes another 7. The Maw and Fenton are both dead. Actually, Fenton's unconscious. We'll see how that goes.
I took 30 points of damage.
Unless you're resistant to cold, yes.
I am unconscious.
Okay.
What are you doing, lady?
And as a bonus action, you feel this large, this swirling pool of golden energy begins swirling around her, and pretty nice, actually.
Math heal. Math cure wounds. I love how Jesse goes black and white when he goes unconscious.
So Sid and Levy, you are both up to 14 hit points.
Ooh.
As she used,
has no weapon. And they're like,
you see, just kind of as you kind of slowly come into consciousness, this glowing Drapus in front of you, as she used her Balm of the Summer Court.
standing there all
nice.
majestic with the glaive and shield.
The Tesvir
She doesn't look so happy about me having her glaive.
is going to take a step over here. Doesn't like Drapus attacking people. And he's going to put Drapus down.
Drapus didn't get any healing from that, did he? Or is it just the 2 that was down?
Oh no, actually, yeah, you would have gotten healing as well. So you also got 14.
Okay.
All right. So, and I mean, I guess Larch did as well, but I don't think Larch can heal 14 hit points.
Just tops off.
Do we still have the temper HP?
What is that
The
from?
5 temp. It would have lasted 8 hours and it was in the catacombs.
Yeah, I think it's a lot. It's
Yeah, that's no longer active.
Okay. Then I can get 1 HP.
25 to hit you, Drapus,
Yeah, that'll hit.
and a 23.
That hits.
All right. So first off, that's 36 slashing,
I'm down.
and the second one gives you 2 death fails. So, Levy, as you're coming to consciousness, Drapus is standing there looking mighty and heroic with your glaive, and then you see the shadow come over as the fire giant just kind of looks down towards you, smiles. You are nothing but the dragonling, and smashes down into him once with the maul, and Drapus's spine kind of crumples in a bit and then re-extends again. Fortunately, it's not lasting, and Drapus manages to stay on board the ship. So let's remove the Maw Demon because he's no longer there. Sorry, Larch.
It's all good. He served his purpose.
And he just kind of smiles down at the corpse. Sid? Dreyfus is now unconscious?
I'm gonna stand up. I'm going to bonus action healing word on Drapus.
Okay, very nice.
Um,
Drapus's armor is looking a little bit like you put an empty tin can at the bottom of a pool. It's looking a little condensed and crushed.
He's looking like a kick the can.
Exactly.
All right, Drapus, you heal 8 hit points.
Very nice.
And that is my absolute last spell slot.
Yay. Good to know.
And then I'm going to attack the barbarian with my warhammer.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming when I go unconscious, I lose concentration on vampiric touch.
Yes.
Okay. I have advantage on this.
Yes, because he is recklessing. 10. You smash into his breastplate, and it just kind of barely even vibrates, and he just kind of looks at you, and just gives you just a smile. His gums are kind of bleeding.
You don't get to add them together when you have advantage.
No.
That's all I got.
But as you hit him and he smiles, his gums are kind of bleeding. His mouth's kind of full of blood. He's got several scratches. He's looking pretty rough. He's looking rough. This orc is dead, so let's just remove him. Fenton. Okay. Let's back up to 1.
And Nat 20 comes back.
Back up to 1
Yep.
hit point.
Yep.
He kind of shakily stands up to his feet. And looks over towards Larch. And is going to try and cast that. Larch, I need you to roll me a dex save, please.
Yes, sir.
Woo!
Knock me
Bastard.
down.
So he kind of stands up shakily, kind of using his, and just kind of shakes it, pulls out his wand, and this large beam of fire just kind of streaks down and whips you across the chest. It burns through and singes through your cloth, but fortunately you only take half of 32, so 18.
Ooh,
Or no,
still,
16. Sorry.
still half my health.
But you've got this large gash and this burn mark, this burn scar across your chest now. And he's going to
Rad.
10, 15, 20, 25 move the other way away. Korok is going to
60 feet can't save you now.
Korog is going to, let me delete Maw. I don't need Maw or Orc anymore. Korog is going to just growl and scream, "Stay down!" And is going to reckless attack against Levy. Sid. Roll
Yeah.
a d20. Larch, even or odd.
Odd squad, let's go.
For any of those listening, that was 2 natural 1s on his reckless attack. So he slashes where Levy was, and Levy quickly does like a quick dive and dodge and manages to stab the sword, the axe, into the shin of the fire giant, and the giant just kind of roars out in pain. Ooh, shit! As the fire giant takes 36 points of damage.
Oh my gosh, guys, I would have been so dead.
I take it back. This Goliath's the MVP.
Best player on our team.
Bite your tongue. He ruined my armor.
Korok's gonna move there.
I saved your glaive though.
Is gonna take a swing against Sid.
Don't think we're not gonna have a chat about that one.
I'll teach you how to use it.
17. Fuck. Reckless attack swings towards you, Sid, and you just manage to quickly dodge out of the way, kind of putting up your armor in defense. Large.
The only damage I've taken in this fight has been from that elf lady.
Hey man, she did good stuff.
The only damage has been friendly fire.
It's fine. Large.
To be fair, we all deserve it at this point.
I'm going to Scorching Ray,
Rude.
but as we're gonna do it as fire. Hell, why not?
And who
we're
are
gonna
you
do-
scorching ray?
I'm gonna do I'm gonna do 2 at him, and 1 at him.
All right. He sees you begin casting, and he's going to counterspell.
Dang it!
Levy, roll a d20. Plus 6 is a 13, which just succeeds because he counterspelled at 3rd level. So his counterspells fails. Go ahead and roll your Larch. So the elf manages to counterspell his counterspell. Larch, roll your attacks.
Nice. Let's do. I gotta get me some counter spells.
Benton is not looking happy. 18 against the Goliath.
Yeah.
That hits.
Are these made at advantage? he restless?
Technically,
Okay, so hold on.
yeah. Just roll another one. Yeah,
there's
8. So the first
16.
one hits.
And then the second one on him is a 9, which probably
Yeah,
doesn't hit.
that one misses, unfortunately.
So that first one did 6 damage to him,
Okay.
and then the one on the other guy,
All right.
18.
How do you finish him off?
He just takes a fire, like just a ball of fire to the chest, and it knocks him off the side of the ship.
Yeah, so his large sin mark goes through his feeble leather armor. His spell book drops to the floor in front of him, and he just
The important one.
jettisons off the side of the boat like a cannon, and then just begins sinking to the bottom of the harbor.
It's real convenient. He drops all of his loot and then rockets off the ship.
it's like Diablo, just the loot static
Yeah,
drops
The
off
loot
of him,
stays.
and then
There's a
he
little golden
goes.
pile.
Yeah.
Larch, anything else?
Do
Look,
I
a
have any
dog.
bonus actions?
Summon
Only
dog.
bonus actions or spells. Summon dogs. I summon the chick. No, I don't do that. I think that's an action anyway.
think so.
Actually, I will go invisible.
That's a good option. It's just all right. I did my job. Bye, guys.
10,
Suddenly we see splashing in the water.
25, 30. I'm gonna go there.
All right, and then poof.
So how much damage did the Goliath take from that?
6.
Okay.
Why?
Oh, I was just wondering.
All right, so you guys see
For
Larch kind
purposes.
of do his Larch thing. Larch waddle pass and just poof, disappears.
Oh no, I went invisible before I moved,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
and then that way I wouldn't provoke or anything.
Fair enough. All right, Levy, do you yank your glaive back out of Drapus's hands?
No, I stare Drapus down and pull my battle axe out from behind. And
And
Attack Drapus.
trying to okay,
your first attack can be push him overboard.
right?
And then the glaive goes to the bottom of the ocean,
It's not hers anymore.
along with Drapus, with all the gear.
No, you have water walk.
Okay, I'm going to use my greater healing potion finally.
All right. 4d4 plus 4. I'm so pissed that he just did that fucking 36. The giant.
Is this like a Lorenzo battle where we're not supposed to fight him?
All right, 14.
I'm going to.
Chug, smash.
Yeah, trying to decide which I want to do. here.
Action surge.
I'm going to attack the Goliath.
Okay. Bring him down, bring him down.
And he's still reckless, yes?
Yes. I love how Sid's just kind of hanging out there. It's like, I guess it's up. Oh, 20. Yeah, that hits. So 6 damage. He's looking rough. Not quite on death's door, but he's looking rough. He kind of spits out a globule of blood. It kind of burns. It kind of evaporates a bit from the heat of the giant.
I'm going to attack him again.
Bold choice. Okay.
Weird flex, but okay.
Very, very bold with my extra attack.
11. That one misses.
Yeah.
No, again, this one hits into him, but he... Action search?
Trying to decide.
Action jack.
Action search. Action search. Action search.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
At least you're consistent.
Another 6. All right, and your other attack. Don't roll another 8 and 11.
Right. Come on.
Come on, roll 20. I think I can. I think I can.
It hates me.
24, that hits. Oof, wow. Another 2 damage. Anything else?
No, that's it.
At the end of your turn, the fire giant is going to use its legendary action and make a attack against. It's going to use its pounding attack in the line right in front of him. So Sid and Levy. Does a 22 hit both of you?
Yep.
Yep.
You both take 17 points of slashing damage as this thing just smashes into you. That was actually pretty low for damage.
Are you guys Robert Downey Jr. yet?
Fun.
Sid's unconscious again.
Sid's down.
Dracus,
Would that have hit Soraya?
it's so good.
Okay.
She's out of range.
I didn't know how
He,
far the
he
line
only
out
has
was.
he only has a 10-foot range.
Oh,
only,
okay. I didn't know
yeah.
if it was like Drapus's breath attack or something.
I know he's so boring. He's only has a 10-foot
Yeah.
range.
Yeah. Okay, so here comes another new one for everybody. I'm going to cast Hex on the Barbarian as my bonus action.
Okay, so magic weapon's gone.
No, it's not. Magic weapon's not concentration.
Is it not?
It is concentration. It is, yeah. That's fine.
Okay.
Ruining my glowy glaive, are we?
Mhm.
No, it's
Just
still
glowing a little less.
It still has the radiant
It's like
damage. It just doesn't have
glimmer.
the +1.
yeah.
Yeah.
Out of
Mhm.
out of a 150 volt or watt light bulb, it's now 149 watt light bulb.
Hey, you can tell the difference, all right? If a light bulb is off, it bugs you.
But yeah, I'm gonna cast Hex on the Barbarian.
All right. What are you
And
giving him
then-
disadvantage on?
Let's say he's gonna get disadvantage on dexterity checks.
Okay. So if he tries to do some acrobatics, he has disadvantage. Good to know.
I'm setting him
cartwheel
up for
anymore.
March. Blow something up. Make it to where he has to jump.
It's checks, not saves, but yeah.
Okay, whatever. And then I'm gonna attack him with the glaive.
Oh no. With advantage, because it's reckless.
Okay. So
So
let's do.
roll your
I'm
great
just gonna
sword.
roll the great axe.
Yeah.
Because it
So
doesn't
plus
have
one anymore. Okay. Hits.
23.
So D10 plus 3 plus 2D8. 10. So
Plus a D6.
5 and 5. 2 plus 5. Okay. And a D6.
5 necrotic.
Okay. Not resistant. He's not looking great. As you
And
slash into him, the radiant and the necrotic kind of meld together into like this gray energy and just spears into him.
And then so he's still up.
Still up.
Okay, he's taking another shot then.
All
Hopefully if I hit.
Hits.
So then it's going to be. There's the weapon damage.
All right, so 6 into 3, and then 8, and then necrotic.
Another 5.
5. He's looking real bad. He kind of
Oh my god, this guy just doesn't.
is kind of wavering a bit, coughing up blood and like black ichor as the shadows cling to him, and he's just kind of dodging back, just kind of weaving. Weapon still in his arm though, eyes still bloodshot red, focused on all of you.
All I can do. That's it.
Man, that's unfortunate.
Man.
You know what? She's gonna toll the dead. So you all hear this spectral gong ring out as he fails. And this gong begins reverberating throughout, and you see the eyes and the ears begin just dripping out blood, and then his head kind of crumples up, and the Goliath is dead. She got the kill, so she gets the XP.
So because he died,
She's
I
level
want to
6.
transfer my hex to the giant.
How much XP did she get for killing me?
She didn't kill you. She just
That's
unconscious.
street cred.
And bonus action stayed you are back up to 14. And that's the end of her thing, because that's all her druid levels. The fire giant. He upends his maul, puts it down on his feet, just kind of hands still clasped onto the maul, and just looks at all of you. You did well.
Are you yielding?
He just
Like standing up, like, oh, I'm not showing that I'm fucked up or anything.
He just stands there, hands still on the maul, just kind of looking at all of you.
Since he's taking a second, can I move my hex onto him? Since
Okay.
the Goliath died.
Okay. As you begin kind of forming the shadows around him, they just kind of get absorbed into the flame and do not stick.
What do you want from us?
Since you refuse to get back into your cages, leave. If that's what you wish.
I have a question. Are we still in combat order?
Not right now.
Okay, could I run up to the dwarf and revivify him with the locket?
There's nothing left to revivify.
He's kind of headless.
He's
He's
been
all like
Gallagher.
headless and ashy.
You would need like true resurrection for this bad boy.
Okay.
Okay, so during conversation and stare downs, do I have time to like lean down and give Levy a drink of my water?
Lean down from what, bruh?
On high.
Angels we have heard. You can try, sure.
Okay,
I would- I
Pretty
would
sure
like
that's
to-
the end of your water, though.
I have one more after this. I have
Okay.
3 uses. I just gave one to myself earlier. I'm giving her the second use.
Pretty sure you've used it before, but okay. Alright, the giant's just standing there looking at all of you.
Who is the Bright Lord?
You have 5 HP, Levy.
I told you. He is a demon king.
And what does he know of me?
I know not. Leave or return to your cells before I call in the rest of my men. And at this point, you can hear the latch open up, and Sid, you're kind of over on the right-hand side, and several dozen heavily armored orcs, not like the ship hands that you just dealt with, come out. Large spears and tower shields at the ready, and they'll just stand in a U between you and the. So they stand right about. They do this. Large, you're kind of funneled in,
Okay.
and as they're moving around, the spell book gets funneled in with them. So the spell book's at your feet, Large.
I would like to pick up my counter spell.
Right, you have Fenton's spell book. So you're kind of all clustered into this corner, and he just looks towards all of them and towards your battered, broken, and bruised bodies. Cells or swim?
Drapus, that's going to be a hard one.
I got the
Oh,
ring.
Drapus can walk on water.
I'm gonna go take a dive.
Yeah, the councilwoman, she looks tired and worn, and kind of slowly drags herself over to one of the ladders and just climbs down, and you hear just soft plop, and you see her slowly breaststroking towards Waterdeep.
I'm going to start removing my armor before I jump in that water.
All right,
Same.
see all just start stripping down.
I'm gonna look over at the barbarian body and look back at the giant and be like, we beat him fair and square. His loot's ours now. You'd do the same to us if we lost.
He looks towards the barbarian's corpse and just kind of nudges it towards you with the maul. Doesn't even seem bothered by the weight the barbarian is.
Okay. I'm gonna loot the barbarian.
Okay. So there's oversized plate mail, or oversized plate armor, and an oversized great axe.
I'll take the great axe.
Okay. It's heavy and unwieldy.
Is there anything that's just all of value he has on him?
Yeah.
I can't use it. Oh. I'm gonna take.
The
Is there
U
like a railing?
of the U of the soldiers begins slowly closing
Yeah,
in a bit more.
Is there a railing around the ship?
Yeah,
or is it
there's
just
there's
kinda like-
there's gunnels.
Okay. Is there a place that I could just push the whole Goliath off?
Yeah, you could try and drag him over. You'd have to roll
I'm just
me.
gonna-
You have to roll me an athletics check though.
Sure.
It's too heavy.
Whatever. I'm
You
gonna throw his
managed
axe
to, you start,
overboard.
you just yeet, and it just goes and manages to lodge itself in a stone. So years, eons later, when this ocean dries up, maybe there will be a axe in
the
a
salt
stone.
water hasn't rusted the axe away.
Magic's normally pretty resistant to rust.
No. And then I'm going to climb down the ladder.
Okay. You
I'll
see
be
the
last one to
councilwoman.
go down.
I'm gonna try and stall and be the last one to go down.
You guys are just kind of sitting there
As I-
stalling.
You're just standing there like, no, you. You go ahead. I'll be fine.
Go.
I gotta take all this stuff off. You go ahead.
I jump over.
Yeah. It just launches like, bye.
I say in giant to him, "Good luck with your ordering," and I jump off.
Okay.
Levy, have you gone? Okay. I'll hang on to your stuff. It's easier to swim without stuff. I guess I'll hang on to your stuff too, Sid.
What
No, I
stuff
can
of Sid's do you have?
put all my
What?
stuff in my pack.
Okay.
All right. Let's have Sid and Levy roll me, and Larch, sorry, roll me athletics checks. This is a
Well,
600. This is a
Can I
600
talk to this
foot.
guy while I'm on the ship once everybody else has gotten off?
What do you want to say?
I want to ask him, with everybody else gone, if he's willing to tell me anything else, like that he wants from me or that he knows about me.
He steps towards you as the rest of your allies begin swimming off, and just kind of
I thought
crouches.
he'd been drowning.
He crouches down a bit, and you just get manhandled right across the chest and chucked 10 feet overboard.
I have a question. It's a logistical question.
I might have an answer.
Where Sid was standing and the fire giant's putting off all that heat, would he have ignited the black powder sitting underneath Sid?
No, because the black powder's 2 steps below.
Down the stairs. Also, we can blame Sid's body for hitting Larch in the
So,
water. Oh, this fail is not canon.
Larch, as you begin swimming along, you've had a long day, man. You're tired, you're weak, you're sore, everything hurts. You might not have taken much physical strain, but like your body's just still sore. But fortunately, the councilwoman manages to kind of come over and help assist you towards shore. Sid, your backpack kind of trailing along behind you. This is a hard swim. This is 600 feet to shore.
Can I like walk up to Sid and just like put Levy's glaive down, like the handle of Levy's glaive down, and kind of like drag him through the water?
Sure. Roll me an athletics check, Drapus.
I'm gonna pull you in.
I'll let go of the glaive.
10. Okay. Yeah, you managed to slowly, throughout the next 20 minutes or so, manage to. And actually, as you're doing that, you hear the sieging. Whereas before it's been constant twangs of arrows, boulders being thrown overhead, it seems to have come into a lull. And as you're slowly swimming towards shore, you see along the one of the remaining embankment walls of the coastal side of the castle side of Waterdeep, dozens of archers sitting up there, ready, drawing, and then quickly the council will just, no, halt, stop. And one of them manages to spot her, see that she is who she says she is, and manage to hold off before you guys get literally annihilated with arrows and sunk to the bottom of the ocean.
I dodge that shit.
Oh yeah? 3 dozen arrows, you can dodge that?
Oh,
I'm
they
so tired. Just let me die, Drake.
I start kicking him off the glaive.
Throw my body to the sea.
Just as Drapus manages to kick Sid's body off into the water, the tide swells and pushes all of you onto land. Large, you kind of face first into a bucket of a sand. You kind of, Sid, you kind of just get dragged upward through the coast, kind of head first, kind of making a rut into the sands. But the councilwoman kind of slowly, even for an older elf woman, because she's an elf, but she still has gray hairs and stuff. She's pretty old. She did pretty good for that 600 foot swim, especially supporting Larch as well. And she managed to kind of come up
Literally carrying the team.
and kind of slowly stands to her feet. And at this point, you can see dozens of warriors of Waterdeep rushing down the embankments onto the shore, and they rush towards the councilwoman, and you hear hushed conversations going on. And a few times she kind of looks over her shoulder and points towards all of you. And after a minute or so of you guys kind of collecting yourselves, a human gentleman, early 50s, kind of shaved sides heads, slightly kind of balding head. He's got a large scar going from the top of his temple down to the below his cheek. He looks pretty cool. He's in full plate and has a large halberd strapped to his back and a long sword on his side, and walks towards all of you. I suppose thanks are in order. You helped save the councilwoman.
Sid coughs up a mouthful of sand. It's like, oh, yeah, you're welcome.
He kind of reaches down and helps sit up and helps you get to your feet and kind of rests you up against a rock.
Unfortunately, we can't say as much for the councilman.
Yes, Soraya told us. Unfortunately, we'll have to put word out, but
What I can say is there better be more than thanks, because we were told to do a job, deliver a message, and the next thing I know, I'm sitting on a ship with a fire giant crawling up my ass, and I save your councilwoman. So here's your damn message as I'm handing Levy's shit back to her, and I storm off.
Take my glaive from Drapus. As I take my glaive from Drapus, I punch him in the face with an unarmed strike.
all right, roll
That's fine.
attack. 21, yeah, it is.
I promise that this is charming.
He kind of looks at all of you. A message? Sorry. What message?
The ordining's begun.
Since she hit me, I would like to use my reaction and hellish rebuke her.
The councilwoman casts counterspell.
Oh, so
Um,
you
Look through
allow
Fenton's
PvP
book real
one
quick.
way, but when
Excuse
I go
me.
to
I was nice to her.
Levy didn't want the lady to commit suicide, so
I just wanted to do the job, and the job about got us all fucking killed because we got drug into somebody else's problem.
we all look to sit.
I know as much as you do.
Soraya approaches all of you after seems to be kind of in a large overcoat and stuff, somewhat dried off, and thank you. I don't know how much longer I would have been able to hold out. Thank you so much.
I'll be sure to buy dinner with the thank yous you just gave me. And I kind of walk off.
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
I'm supposed to be the one with the negative charisma.
You feel your body freeze in place. Please do not walk off. I need to talk to you all. You say the ordering has begun. That is grim news, especially when it's in lining with a fire giant seemingly attacking the city. She looks towards Sid. You were talking about someone of a Bright Lord?
From what I can tell, that's who they serve.
A fire giant serving someone.
He said it was a demon.
That is grim. If an ordering has begun, that means King Hecaton has either been captured or is deceased. He had a bad temper, but we were able to converse with him occasionally, keep certain de facto sections under wraps rather than constant wars between dragons and giants and whatnot. I wish to thank you all properly. If you would, I'd like to bring you all into the council chambers, and we can talk, and I can hopefully thank you properly. And at this point, Trepus, you feel your body relax again as the old person is gone.
Who did I get the shield from? Was it you, Sid, or Levy?
I believe you had my shield.
Yeah, it was Sid's, I think.
Okay. So I give you I give everybody their stuff back.
And if you'd please join us at the council chambers, we'd like to talk to you properly, not out here. And she kind of looks towards the sieging armada, and at this point you can see some large flaming stones beginning to re-emerge from the ships. It seems that the siege has re-begun.
It would be our pleasure to accompany you.
She kind of looks towards Trapus. Is this true?
Maybe not pleasure.
But you will join me?
There'll be
Is that
money,
where-
Drapus.
If that's where everybody else is going.
Thank you. Please, General Tindaris, he will escort you. I need to reacquaint myself with proper clothing. And she goes off. She's escorted by a large battalion of heavily armored soldiers, and the older gentleman, who, as you've now been told, is General Tindaris, approaches again. Do you need showers, clothing, meals? I think it'll be an hour or so until the councilwoman's ready for you.
That would be appreciated. Thank you.
Ed.
He kind of looks you all over. Yes, perhaps maybe a night's rest and then a talk in the morning would maybe be better for all of you. I'll send word, and he quickly says some words to a scribe, and they bolt off and catch up with the councilwoman and her entourage. But you all come forth. You're presented with fairly lavish rooms. I think the most lavish any of you have ever really experienced, especially you, Larch. It's satin and silk bed sheets, individual rooms, beautiful meals. It's a 4-bedroomed room with a large common room in the center, which has a large burning hearth in the center. So you guys can all kind of gather up and eat before you go your separate ways, if you want to talk about anything.
Yeah. So we're all eating together.
Yeah, food's prepared. Ale, wines, spirits of your choice are all kind of presented, and you guys can talk as you will.
So guys, I don't know what was going on out there, but I'm sorry that you got dragged into that with me.
You can't think of anything in your past that would make you interesting to someone?
Sid's a pretty interesting guy in just the brief time I have known him.
Well, I don't know if you've noticed this about me, but I'm sick. And I've been sick for a very long time. My village was hit by a disease called the living rot. And clerics of the goddess Talona promised that they could fix this disease if I offered myself to the goddess as a cleric, as a servant. But I was tricked. And what they really did was they transferred the disease from everyone in my village into my body. And I stay alive only through the blessing of Talona. And I am forced to do her bidding, or she will let me die, or will release this plague back upon my village.
What has been her bidding?
Spreading her word. It's usually pretty vague. She likes when people are poisoned. Sometimes it's not very pleasant, but I do what I have to do to keep my people safe.
Does anybody outside of your village and us know about this?
I would assume there are other clerics who worship Talona who would be aware. But aside from that, I have no idea who this Bright Lord is, or what they could want with me.
Well, they know about you and want you specifically. That's trouble.
I will pray to Talona tonight before I sleep and see if she can provide me with any guidance.
Do that.
But again, I'm sorry that you got pulled into this.
What's Drapus doing during this?
I finish eating and then go to my room.
Okay. Does anyone do anything else?
As we're just sitting around talking, I'm thumbing through the spell book.
Okay. It's quite a selection of cool spells.
And then I'll probably spend all of my gold and just copy these spells down.
Levine?
Levine is just sitting.
It's an infernal.
Yeah. Yeah. My tail starts carving stuff into the wood table underneath that nobody can see.
Anybody have experience with demons? I know a little bit of giants, but I don't really know them to work together.
This is the one who just summoned two demons.
That is the extent of my knowledge with demons. What I read in a pamphlet.
What would a demon want with a servant of a goddess? What could you possibly offer him? Or what, if anything, how important are you to this goddess that he would want you
Maybe it's a
What,
6
for
then.
ransom?
Your guess is as good as mine. I was thinking if they could, unleash this disease inside me, it would probably be a pretty potent weapon.
What kind of disease was it?
I sort of unwrap my arms. You can see the flesh just rotting away. It says, like this, but until you die.
Can I do a medicine check or
Sure.
nature check to see if this is some sort of natural disease?
Well, he did say he was cursed with living rot. So you can go ahead and roll a medicine check if you'd like.
Hey.
Never heard of it. No,
You cure
Well-
me.
you, there's old stories of thing that would cause people to become sick, vomiting, fever, classic sickness. And then slowly that sickness would evolve a bit into your face getting a little saggy, a little not very taut, and then fingernails falling off, hair falling out, flesh starting to slowly slough off in chunks.
Some bad mamma jammas.
Yeah, not good.
So that to me sounds like the most likely theory, or the only one we can assume at this point. If you've had no experience in the past or run-ins with demons or demon kind, we have to assume they want you as a weapon.
That's all I can think of.
So do you want to give yourself up to them?
I'd rather not.
Become a sex slave.
Listen, I've seen what happens when this disease gets loose, and it's not pretty.
And I
It's-
suggest you stop offering.
It's safer keeping it inside me.
So, snacks, drinks, food, had all around. Over time, you slowly kind of filter off into your chambers. Is anyone doing anything before bed?
Yes.
Okay.
I am going to spend. I have to do some quick math here. I'm gonna spend about 20 minutes just copying 3 of these spells into my book.
Okay.
As well as 400 gold worth of materials.
Puppies.
And those spells will be slow, counterspell, and levitate.
Very nice. You sure you want to take counterspell?
Nah, you know what? We'll skip on that one.
What are the odds you'll ever need counterspell?
Who would use that?
I know.
I know, it's
Only
like never
tryhards.
come up. Never in the history of D&D has anyone ever used counterspell.
Drapus, you're just gonna sort your shit out and go to bed?
Yep.
Okay.
Sid is going to pray before he goes to bed. And it's less worship and more he's just desperately asking what she wants from him.
Roll me a religion check. Levy, are you doing anything before bed?
I would have at some point asked if I could have some new leather straps, and I'm going to rewrap my glaive. There's leather at the base and underneath the blade.
Gotta
I'm
get
not
rid
gonna
of the old
rewrap it.
leather since Drapus touched it.
Yeah, it's contaminated. I gotta sanitize that baby. Little wax.
Okay.
And then no, I'm going to sleep.
Okay. So, you all have relatively fitless sleeps, comfortable beds, warm interiors. Sit. At around 3 in the morning, you bolt upright in your bed. It's pitch dark in this room, and you kind of look around a little bit. You just kind of have this weird sensation that you're being observed, and as you're kind of looking around, you feel this icy cold, bony hand wrapped around your ankle.
Do I see anything?
You quickly unfurl the bed sheets, and there you see the decapitated skeletal hand just tightly wrapped around your ankle. It's freezing cold. You feel your leg beginning to get a bit of frostbite.
Can I try and pull it off?
You want to do a quick pull? You want to pull something off while you're in bed? Sure. Roll me a quick athletics check. 14. Yeah, you managed to just grab it by the base of the wrist and just kind of pull it off, yank it off, and toss it up against, and it just shatters against the bedroom wall. And where it was clasped around, there is a deep blue handprint seared into your skin.
I'm gonna sort of feel around where it was grabbing. Does it feel different, or?
Whereas the rest of your flesh is kind of soft and kind of squishy and, dead, this just feels kind of like crystallized skin.
And I have no knowledge of what this would be. And it didn't leave behind anything.
No, there's
broke it,
bones. There's bones there on the floor where the
Like,
hand smashed and turned into all the bone bits.
yeah, I want to check out the bits of bone.
Okay, they seem humanoid, old.
I give the room a quick once over, like peek my head out into the hall, out any windows, see if there's anybody around.
Whereas before the window was closed, it has a small few-inch gap at the bottom.
And looking out, I don't see anybody or anything.
Roll me a perception check with disadvantage. Because it's dark.
Yep.
It's dark.
15. You can
In the
see
dark.
the remaining sections of the city slowly burning. You occasionally hear buildings kind of falling in on themselves as more wood gets burned away and the stone collapses. You can hear armor walking throughout the city. It seems that the siege has stopped and has been withdrawn. You no longer hear any siege weapons. You just now hear the process of trying to stop this fire. However, as you're kind of looking around real quick, just off in the corner, off far away, good 200-300 feet away from you, ducking around a corner of an alley, is kind of silhouetted against one of the burning buildings. Is a silhouette just kind of ducking around a corner.
It's like long way off.
Yeah, it's a good 300 feet away.
I'm gonna shut the window tight. Is there like something I can push in front of the window, like a dresser or a wardrobe or something?
Yeah, you can maneuver a dresser kind of over in front of it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna push something in front of the window. I'm gonna make sure that my door is locked, and then I'm gonna try and go back to sleep.
Okay. So, the rest of the night progresses by. You've all received a long rest. Drapus, in the morning, as you're getting ready with everything, in the pocket of your cloak, there is a pebble.
Two pebbles now.
Indeed.
Cool. I take the pebble and put it with the other pebble.
Okay.
They explode.
They touch.
You touch the neutrons together. The entire city of Waterdeep just implodes. Yeah, no, they just look like ordinary like river stones or whatever. They might skip nice. They might be good skipping stones, maybe.
Counterspell it.
Ah, disappears. No. So at around 7 or 8, you guys had a good like 10-hour sleep. You guys were exhausted. At around 8 o'clock, breakfast is provided. There's bagels and waffles and crepes and home fries, beautiful eggs, fruits and whatnot, hot beverages of your choice. It's good. Good fresh meal. It's a little sad seeing that all this plentiful food is available when who knows what the other people are eating in a city under siege. But you can either rebel against with hunger, or you can enjoy while it's given to you.
I'm gonna eat.
You're poisoned.
I will eat a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Just enough.
Enough to satiate your hunger. But good hour goes by, and you hear a faint knock at the door.
I'll answer.
Okay. You open up the door, and there is the councilwoman. Beautiful gold and black embroidered silk cloth, a large headdress and mantle that kind of goes down right past to her thighs. It's a beautiful outfit, and she kind of sweeps in elegantly and just kind of gives you all a very subtle, deep bow. Good morning. I thought maybe we'd have a less formal chat in these quarters, if that's all right.
Yes, do come in. I open the door for her.
I assume you all slept well and well guarded. It's
As well as can be in the circumstances.
It seems that overnight, while we were resting, the Armada has retreated, which is either a sign of ill or good fortune. Whether that's a ill boding of something worse to come, we can't know at this point. But I can't help to think that you all had a hand in releasing the siege, dealing with the captain and whatnot. So, I thank you. Forgive me, we didn't quite get properly introduced. My name is Lady Soraya, head mistress of the sorry, shit, where's my notes? Quick, everyone stall.
Sid does something gross.
Jesse, get the ukulele.
Ew.
Jesse, get the puppet.
Shit. Where are my puppets?
Oi, pop it.
I like that he looked up at the ceiling like they were going to drop down. I really wanted them to suddenly be marionettes.
You'd
That'd be
be
fucking-
surprised how many there are.
That'd be terrifying. Yes, I am also the Grand Headmistress of the Solace Institute, which is the Archmage Academy here in Waterdeep. So again, thank you very much for rescuing Lunar and myself. Unfortunately, due to Lunar's passing, we will have to assign another one of the Merchants Guild to unfortunately take his place. But either way, thank you. Again, not great on names due to the circumstances. I believe you, sir, are Drapus. You,
I think you're muted.
I am.
I just nod
Oh,
at
okay,
her.
sorry. You expressed want for compensation. What can we as the city of Waterdeep help with and try and compensate with?
My point is we were given a job and paid to do a job. That job was to deliver a message. It
Yes,
did
that
not
the-
entail getting captured, rescuing rescuing council people, fighting a fire giant, and fighting a Goliath on top of any number of orcs, and then swimming out of a bay back to the city. It was supposed to be deliver a message, and that's what we were paid for. And the fight that's going on here isn't my problem. And then got drug into it. So whatever compensation gets decided on is up to everybody. But it's not just a hey, here's a little bit of gold to deliver this message. Send us through a shitstorm and go, thanks, a pat on the back. We'll see you next time. You did a good job. With that, I've said my piece and I've just kind of like leaned back in my chair.
I understand. Thank you for not beating around the bush. Well, should we discuss compensation or should we discuss other matters first?
I'd like to see what she has to say in the moving forward direction.
Okay.
I look back to the rest of the group.
I look at Larch and I look over at Sid. And I look at Sid and ask him, are you going to give yourself up again?
My plan is to get as far away from here as I can. Like Drapus said, this isn't my fight, and if someone wants to use me in it, all the more reason for me not to be here.
I look back and say, well, let's hear what we have to say before we get compensated.
Okay.
Because we've been paid.
We got paid to deliver a message. We did not
Yeah.
get paid to rescue people. And if we're expected to make this our fight, then
That's
there
the
needs to
thing.
be a reason for this to be our fight.
Nobody said it was our fight yet. So
It was our fight when we started getting beat up and started getting imprisoned. It made it our fight then.
that wasn't her fault. We were on our way to deliver a message.
didn't-
We had no
I didn't
idea
blame
that
her.
she was already kidnapped.
I didn't blame her. I didn't say it was her fault. I just said that we were given a very specific job. That job did not entail fighting off an armada. It was show up, deliver a message, and leave.
I think it's
And
fair
we
to say
got-
that we exceeded expectations.
So my point is we've done our job. If there's going to be more for it, since we exceeded expectations, like you can't expect if I ask you do this simple task and then throw a shitstorm at you and then go, good job, you finished that simple task and some. I have another simple task for you. Are you going to keep letting me shit on you? Or are you just going to expect something more because you know that it's not just a simple task?
And it sounds like we need to get compensated.
Yeah. So I'm not going to put a number out there because honestly, like, you got the shortest end of that stick. You almost died like 5 times. So if anybody here should be the most pissed off about it, it should be you. You got damn near cut in half, thrown in a jail cell, crushed. I got crushed. Larch disappeared. Sid got kidnapped for some unknown reason. over a message of, hey, we got word of your attack. Cool. Like, we can't help anyway. And there's an ordering going on. That information isn't going to help them right now anyway. It might explain something, but it's not going to help them with a siege. So,
Rapist, if I might, it's not like we didn't know what we were walking into. We knew the city was under siege. If we thought the risk deserved more money, I mean, we should have asked for more money from the person who hired us in the first place.
we were told the city is under siege, which means they are outside the city, sieging the city. Not that they are in the city. The city has then been breached at that point.
Well, circumstances change as the siege went on.
That's fine, but information wasn't accurate then.
Well, it just changed. It's not that it wasn't it was accurate for the time that it was received. But
And then
we
there's
knew
this,
that the city was currently being sieged.
There was a battalion of heavily armed soldiers that met us on the shore. Where were they when we got attacked in the city?
Defending
You got a battalion of people that can pull a lady out of the water, but you don't have a battalion of people that can't keep a handful of gnolls and a Goliath out of your city. Like, I burned up my goodwill saving the random guy yesterday. Like, I'm not here. None of this started with me trying to help other people. Like, I didn't go to Nightstone to help other people. I had a specific goal in mind. That is my personal goal. And so far, none of this has helped me out with that. I've been helping everyone else out, which is fine to a point, but I'm also not going to throw my life out there, get shit on by a fire giant for nothing.
And I think at this point we need to discuss the compensation. Whatever portion goes to me, I want Drapus to take it instead, and then can we discuss this? No, Levy is not going to take extra, which in her eyes is extra. She came, did the job, there were extenuating circumstances, that's it. Whether or not this does not mean she's going to do whatever's coming next, but she's not going to ask someone else for compensation for an extra. So if you want the compensation for that, that's cool, take it. But Levy is already hated by everyone. She's not going to add. Yeah, she's not going to add that from one of the places she gets most of her work from.
You're 100% right. We got paid to deliver the message. The message is delivered. The people that got the message know that we went through way more than we should have to deliver the message. And I look back at her and I was like, if you expect us to do anything else, or expect me to do anything else, then whatever compensation you had planned for it, you might want to bump that up a little bit, because it's not going to be some random job, some bullshit, deliver a message over here or go collect this thing, because it's not going to end up the way you expect it is. I'll leave it at that. If you expect me to work for you, you better up your price. I don't even know what your price is, but you better up that shit.
I understand. So, our intel that we've gained overnight. The siege has been lifted. and I believe a no small part to yourselves. Thank you. The force that had taken you was a vanguard force that was airdropped into the city. The army did not know that there was going to be flying creatures dropping armies into the city. We were prepared to defend the shores for a shore landing, and that's what that army that assisted us out of the water was prepared to do. I forgive you, or sorry, I sorry,
Forgive you for that tirade.
Ramus rages out of the room.
I I'm very sorry, and I apologize that you were taken captive and you had to spend a few minutes without your armor. And I'm very sorry that that was insecure for you. However, the information from Daggerford, it is a 3-day journey. So the information you received, as your friend Larch says, would not have been the most up to date by the time you arrived in the city.
Let me ask you this. Waterdeep's the biggest city
On the continent.
within. Yeah, it's the biggest city. Would you consider your military force being comparable to the size of the population of the city? Like, would you have a substantial military force?
Seeing as we have not been at war for many years, we do not have a standing army. We have defenders
Okay.
for
Well,
surprise
that's
attacks
fine.
such as this.
Okay. You weren't expecting some force to be dropped into the city. We walked in. Just walked in.
We walked in through.
Here's
This
my
door.
question, Councilwoman. How and when were you taken?
I was taken at within the first hours of the Armada approaching the city.
How?
Were you outside?
A small vanguard pierced through our defenses through a culverin approaching the cliff sides. They managed to sneak into my private abode, which is not as well defended as the council land, and myself and Lennar, we were taken to try and give up information on the whereabouts of the army, the information we have, where the royal vaults are, information that we would have. Fortunately, we both withstanded torture until you all arrived and managed to free us.
So you've had a siege going on and 3 separate attacks that have all just walked right into the city, pretty much unchallenged. Because there was the airdrop, there was when they came and got you, and then we weren't attacked, but we walked in and nobody was around. So we could have been another force to walk in. So the defenders, I don't know what your game plan is, but they're not exactly defending. They're sitting on the coast waiting for people to swim up.
Oh, that's because people were swimming up.
I can't have the angry persona with Large. He's just too innocent.
I'm sure
You got to
the
see
rest
it
of
from
the
an
time.
outside.
I'm sure
You
the
gotta
rest of the time they're defending, but this time there was a siege from the sea.
Okay. The rest of the time, so you've got to see it from outside perspective. The rest of the time they're defending. Were they defending when they walked in and took the council people? Were they defending when
Yes,
a
they
random
were.
group of? What were they defending?
The outside walls.
From what? The ships that are way out there?
They were doing their job, defending the city. This was before the siege began.
Okay. Were they defending when the 4 random people walked through the catacombs, fought a bunch of zombies and a beholder, and then walked into the city?
A beholder?
He's alluding to when we got into the city through underground caverns during the siege that was happening on the shoreline. To which I would assume your troops were all redirected.
Yes, because the siege began and it started at the back and funneled people towards the coastline.
Okay. Just saying, like,
Keeping our men at the back of the line where they were being under heavy bombardment was not beneficial for us because we would have included quite a lot of deaths.
do you have any type of armament to fight back? Like, they have trebuchets launching at you. Do you have anything trying to sink their ships?
We did. I don't know if you noticed, we had an entire armada that tried to counterattack as well.
I I I heard about it. I heard that went excellent.
You saw it.
No, Larch saw it with the warg.
Yeah.
Listen, we can argue all day about the state of your city's defense. What's happening next?
Our intel informs us that yes, an ordering has begun. King Hecaton has been killed. We do not know by which force, whether giant or dragon. We will begin doing small private investigations into this. However, we are beginning to gather up adventurers that we can find and hire them out to try and aid us in protecting the farmlands and the cities that are not as defended as Waterdeep.
So not defended. Cool, got it.
There are countless thousands of people out there that have next to no abilities to defend themselves. And with Waterdeep having to recover, they have no place to flee to. We're gathering as many adventurers as we can to go out and try and aid in minor protections. We believe that it will be mostly Goliaths, orcs, and gnolls, those that like to work with giants. There may also be the occasional hill or stone giant. We do not believe that any of the, for lack of a better term, important or strong giants will be out there doing much of this work. They normally tend to lean upon their peons to get the job done, burning farmlands, raiding crops, and feeding them. Very rarely do giants themselves lift a finger, unless in the case of fire giants, as you know, they are war-minded. Fire giants, however, are very few and far between on the prime material plane. They do not normally care about regular ordnings. The few that are here, they will care. They will try and fight for it. Many of them will probably get very far. However, many of the storm giants will be able to batter those back because they are much more powerful in the magics and in the militant mind. In the search of compensation, I have spoken to my other council members, and for rescuing us and delivering the information, we have I have been allotted 7,000 gold pieces each to all of you. Miss Levine, if you don't wish this, do you want it to go to Drapus, or what would you like done with it?
Just take
Yeah.
it.
Yes, you don't want it, or yes, give it to Drapus?
If Drapus wants it, he can have it.
Okay. We were, I've also been granted the ability to acquire any magical items or potions that you had lost recently, and provide some more potions in case you encounter other situations. Also, and this is where the fun comes in, I need Larch. I need you.
Levy. Katie, I I just put 14k into my goal. I can't carry that much gold. It's too heavy.
Yeah, we're not worrying too much about the cost, the weight of coin.
With
It's like,
Levy
"Yo, can you
actually-
carry this for me?"
With Levy giving
I know
her
you don't want
portion,
to.
with Levy giving her portion, Larch would actually split his and give half to Levy.
Aw. So Levy, you got 3,500 gold pieces.
You guys are all too generous.
So,
All I do is
Oh,
my
I'm not
spells.
generous.
Larch,
I just need armor.
Yes.
That's all I need.
a D100, please.
Yes, sir. Ba, ba, ba.
So while you're doing that, Larch, you know about the ordning, right?
I know, like, I guess I know from like stories,
Yes,
right?
because
Like,
your
or
people,
folklore, almost.
your people fractured off from giants many, 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 many years ago, and so you
if I
still
asked
have
him,
the
like,
stories, but
if I asked him like logistical questions, would he be able to describe, like, in this scenario this is how things would work or whatever, or would he just he gets the general concept of what it is?
he gets the general concept. Honestly, the woman, the councilwoman's probably going to be a better person to talk to,
Okay. So
seeing as
this
she is the
ordning-
headmistress of the library.
Okay, so this ordning, I get that the general concept is there's a overall, like, ruler of giants,
Yes.
or a hierarchy.
Yes.
That giant that seat is vacant by whatever means, and that causes an ordning where giants start vying for power to take that seat. Why are
KD,
dragons
roll a
involved?
D100. Dragons and giants, because they're both powerful and old beings, they clash heads a lot. And so if a dragon can get into the seat of power for a giant, they then get to rule over. And dragons are greedy, even the metallics. So
Yeah, so
all that
I'm like,
power is hard to give up.
I guess my question is you, like, why would a bunch of giants follow a dragon, or is the dragon like disguised as a giant to fill that position? Like, why would giants respect the fact that another race jumps into their ordning?
Well, ordning historically has always been between giants and dragons.
Okay, so
If a
dragon
dragon has taken over the throne of the giants once in the history, and it was near the beginning of the ordning, and they respected it because that's just tradition.
Okay, so it is a thing where it's not just dragons are just butting into somebody else's business. This is their business.
Yes, this is literally they.
Okay.
Yeah, they're always button heads.
So how does this affect everyone else?
Well, when two cataclysmic forces clash, the rest of the world feels it.
Okay, but that's going to happen anyway. Like, the ordning has to end up settling itself out. So, like, how, like, that's going to happen.
Yes, but the whole idea is to try and mitigate losses and
Okay, so
death.
I
So
guess
why don't we pick someone like, I mean, King Hecaton was tolerable, it sounds like.
He was.
So if we find are there any other tolerable giants we know of that we could support to get this done with quick?
Yeah, I guess that leads into my next question: is what is the outcome that, like, everybody that is not giant and not dragon, what is the outcome that everyone else is looking for, other than just to not get caught in the crossfire?
Essentially to have it done as quickly as possible, with as little losses as possible on the mortal scale.
So what's the game plan, like the end game plan? Are we trying to like pick somebody that we want in the seat and promote that, try and help that along? Or are we just trying to keep everybody that's not associated with it out of the way?
That, my friend, is up to you. Right now, the councilwoman is saying, we need people to go out there and try and defend against raiding parties. Because obviously, for the ordning to happen, giants are going to be fighting giants, and their armies are going to be fighting their armies.
I want to get away from this city.
For that to happen, they need food, they need resources, they need metals, weapons. Mines are going to be attacked, farms are going to be attacked, vulnerable cities are going to be attacked. So what the councilwoman right now is trying to get is groups of people going out there to try and help protect cities, farms, mines, stuff like that.
Okay, so they're trying to keep the giants or whoever from pretty much parasiting off of everybody else to fuel their agenda, right?
Exactly.
Now. Okay.
Actually, this is kind of funny. Rick, did you see what I sent you?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Okay.
Katie, believe it or not, you actually get a folding boat, which kind of fits.
That is a pretty cool magic item, though.
That is really cool.
You know what it is, Katie?
No.
So it does two things. It's usually a phrase, or you can pretty much unfold this small box, and it folds out into a boat that will hold 3 or 4 people. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4. Or the second form of it is you fold it out into a big boat that holds 15.
I like boat.
Indeed, I do like boat. 67, very nice.
Now I feel like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's basically like an inflatable raft, but it turns into a real boat. It's pretty cool.
This is
So,
Marcus'
I
new
guess-
drip.
Another logistical question. This pay that we were just given, that is for the rescuing and the upcoming job?
That is just for the rescuing.
Okay.
You guys have
So
not accepted the upcoming job, so she has not
Okay.
mentioned payment.
Okay, so we're as of right now, where everybody's square supposed to be. Okay.
Just a second here, guys. I'm just trying to get everyone's magical items available. Sid, this actually kind of is fitting for you. You are granted a Iron Stone of Reserve.
Ooh.
And last but not least, Drapus. Roll me a D100, please. 38. Okay, not too bad.
How big is the folding boat?
It's like a little pocket right now.
But then I mean when it expands.
When it expands, it is 10 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 2 feet deep. Has 1 pair of oars, an anchor, a mast, and a lateen sail.
Pretty
Can hold up to 4 medium creatures comfortably.
Yes.
perfect.
And then does
Oh,
it
that's
have,
the first. That's the first command.
yeah, there's a second command makes it a bigger boat.
Yeah, 24 feet long, 8 feet wide. And then the third command is just closing it up.
Is it like a charge base?
That's a good question, isn't it?
I think it's just you can use it.
Yeah,
And
it
then
doesn't
close it
say.
up. It's just a
I
magic
got-
item at will use.
I got the Cloak of Mountebank. It gives me Dimension Door once a day.
Whoa!
Wow.
Fucking sick.
Interdimensional large. Hell yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I have transcended reality.
You, Drapus,
Can
rolled
you
a
send
38
McFly through it?
I can bring up to one creature.
of his
So-
size or smaller.
Yeah. And I think it's what, like is it a 400 foot or a 600 foot range?
It's 500.
500 foot. But you have to be you have to have knowledge of where you're going.
I think you have to have
Or you
knowledge
could
where you're
just
going,
guess.
but you don't have to see the location.
Yeah.
It
Like,
just
so
says
to do
any
it safely, you have to have knowledge of the location. If
Sure.
you just guess, you could end up porting into a wall or something.
And if you do pour into something, you take force
Yeah, you
damage.
take damage from
Let's see.
door.
Dimension door is clutch.
Drapus, you receive a amulet of health, which automatically boosts your constitution up to 19.
What's up?
So you
Okay.
gain 4 times 5, so 20. You gain 20 additional hit points.
Amulet of health. I'll drop
I don't think I have to have seen the location. I just have to know that the location is there.
Like if somebody described it to you, or if we had a map or something. I
Yeah,
think.
so it
Yeah.
says it can be a place you can see, one that you can visualize, or one you describe by stating the distance and direction.
Yeah, so you, for
Yeah.
example, you can say, I go 300 feet north, up 10 feet.
Yeah.
So wherever that makes you in relative to where you are, either if that's in a wall or if that's somewhere else, you'll get shunted into the closest occupiable space. So you've all got your magical items. You all also receive 4 greater healing potions. And 5 regular healing potions each.
That'll last us a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one encounter.
All 3 of you guys it's like I want to get you one of it's just like
Hey,
slamming
I didn't
it
use
back.
a potion this whole session.
Was it 4
It's true.
greater or 3 greater?
4 greater,
4 greater.
5 regular.
And that's 4d4.
4d4 plus 4 and 2d4 plus 2.
Okay.
Now, you've received your not your rewards, but your compensation for aiding us. If you are willing to join us in defending some of the outskirt villages and hamlets, just a second here. Need to do some math real quick. I'm able to offer you a 15,000 gold piece retinue, which is for 3 months. So every 3 months you'll get an additional 15,000 gold pieces.
So you're pretty much asking to keep us on retainer for.
Yes. You would report to General Tindaris, which is the general you met on the beach. Also, I'd suggest if any recommendations for the defense of the city, bring it to him. I have no control over it.
Yeah, you got some catacombs that need to be guarded. I'm sure Drapus has a lot of ideas for you.
Drapus starts crafting a suggestion box.
This is like, I've already got notes.
But other than that, again, the only thing I can say is thank you. And I know, Drapus, it doesn't mean much, as you don't know who I am or what you fought for, but thank you. I'll give you time to think. If possible, let us know before the morning of tomorrow. You can find the general in the council chambers. Just ask one of the guards and they'll be able to direct you to him. But unless you have any questions of me, I will take my leave.
Is there an
I still
armory
have I
that
still
we
have a
could
bit of
purchase?
recovering to do. What did you
Go
ask?
ahead,
Sorry,
Larch.
Lich.
Oh, I was gonna ask, is there an armory that we could purchase some things from?
As long as it's within reason, we should be able to outfit it without being purchased.
Alrighty.
Like, you
So-
can't ask for, like, +3 plate armor or something.
Right.
But, like, regular plate you should be able to get, or leather armor or whatnot.
So with this contract, we are being paid to assist farmers and common people. Are we expected to act as militants also?
Like, enforcers?
Like if the city was attacked and you're wanting us to like fall in with the army or the defenders.
If anything, you may be asked to try and do what small group of adventuring parties are good at doing. You wouldn't be asked to join the front lines of the army or whatever.
Just pretty much clarifying the job description here.
I understand. And she
Oh.
she stands up and kind of twinges a bit. Again, she still seems a little rough, but she does a little deep bow again to all of you. Thank you, and heads out unless anyone says anything to her.
Sorry about your friend.
Thank you. Sorry you got captured.
Right in the room.
I was trying not to laugh. Drapus.
As soon as you said sorry about your friend, I just pictured him getting Gallaghered.
Rip in peace, Lunar. He was gonna, if only you knew what he was gonna be able to craft you guys, but rip in peace.
I mean, he got up there and did one good hit.
He did too!
Oh well, there you go.
He was very brave.
He did 30
Wow.
damage in 2 hits,
There you go.
He was a little racist, but
he's a dwarf, it's fine.
he went out
Okay.
swinging.
What's everybody think about this job?
Well, he went swinging? He's not a swinger. How do you know that? Shut up.
You don't know
That's
anything about
a
this man.
different campaign. Shut up, Jesse.
I can see Saria blushing.
Whoa.
What was he doing at her personal home?
Yeah,
when
why
they
was
got
he
kidnapped?
at her place? What was going on there? This is the storyline I want to follow.
They were just having an
What's
afternoon.
that?
They were just having
This
an.
table talk is for after.
They were just having an afternoon luncheon. It's fine.
Afternoon delight.
It was brunch. Everyone brunches.
I'm pretty sure the dwarf and the elf were bumping uglies. That's what was happening.
No, that'd be gross. Dwarves and elves.
You're just, it's in disappointment.
You can't just call someone ugly right to their face. That's so rude, Drake.
Well, fortunately, she's gone.
She's-
So
she's left.
Fortunately, she's not in the room anymore, and he's dead, so we don't have to think about it.
over the next hour or so, as you guys are discussing, servants come in and bring you the coin, the potions, and your magical artifacts.
Large
Everybody
just
think
looks
about
like
this job.
Now, Gareth, when
Yeah.
you find an Iron Stone of Reserve, sometimes there's already spells in it. Is it empty, or are there
Smile.
spells in it?
Are you gonna try and cast a spell?
There's
What?
a wish spell in it.
Do I have any way of telling?
Large has identify.
Yeah, you have me. I'm gonna identify that. I put my cloak on and now look like Sparrowhawk from Tales of Earthsea. And I sit down, hold the Iron Stone and the Pearl, and I just sit there for 10 minutes.
Yes, unfortunately, Large. Also, you never found your sea stone again.
Yeah,
Rip
I'll
in
have to
peace.
find some other way to see in the dork.
It has Firestorm.
No, it's only 3rd level or
I can
lower.
only have 3 levels of spells, so
It does. It has a 3rd level spell.
Ooh. Can I tell what kind of spell?
You can, because identify.
It's counterspell.
It's counter.
It has stored within it the spell Revivify.
Ooh. Yep, that one's gonna be pretty good.
I can cast that one anyway.
Larch takes it. Thanks.
I eat it.
I have the Revivify.
So what's
Now, hold on. When you cast it through the stone, do I still need the material components, or is it like a free cast of Revivify?
Drapus, you talk about that. You talk about your shit. I'll look this up.
okay? What's everybody think about this job being kept on retainer here?
I think this is probably the most steady job I'm going to have anytime soon, especially with all of this. Everywhere is being attacked. Everywhere that I work normally is being attacked. This is the best price I'm going to get for my time.
I'd like to start trying to get some of these places back on their feet. This could help.
How about you, Drapus?
So as much as the last like 2 hours of conversation has led, it's not all about money for me. But I am also not going to throw my time and resources out for nothing. So if it's the job and the pay is fine. But now knowing that a dragon can try and fill this seat, I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah, we did see a metallic dragon around here.
Is the lung
Like,
dragon?
I don't care if it's What's
Yes,
that?
the one you saw was a gold lung dragon.
It's gold, yeah.
I don't care. I don't like dragons, metallic or chromatic. Like, and there's a.
Hence why he desecrated a corpse of a dragonborn.
I didn't desecrate. I just left it alone.
Hey, look, a dragonborn. Let's fucking piss on her.
So there's. I don't know if you guys know like where dragonborn came from, because we've not always been in Faerun.
Would Larch have any idea?
Yeah, do I know where
I
Will
think
Dragonborn
Larch would
come
have most knowledge of it being a wizard.
Wow, that's assumptuous. You
Did
can
just
roll
assume my
a.
intelligence?
You can roll a history or a religion check, both of you. Except for
What am I
Levine.
good
Levine
at?
can't roll anything.
Can't do shit.
17.
Um,
Nice.
History or religion? They're the same for me.
Larch got nothing.
Sid. Yeah, you know. You've got a vague understanding.
When a mommy dragonborn and a daddy dragonborn love each other very
They make
much.
it to eggs.
That's not
They
how
lay
that
a
happens.
goose.
So since Larch doesn't know, about 150 years ago, there was a spell plague that happened. The logistics of it would be the goddess Mistra, which is the goddess of magic, was killed, and due to that, magic kind of ran wild. There is the world of Faerun. There is a second parallel dimension world that's a mirror image. During that time, they crossed, and when they knew Mistra was appointed and the magic weave was fixed, they separated. Dragonborn got left on Faerun because Dragonborn are originally from that other world. On that other world, it's ruled by dragons, and Dragonborn have been cruelly kept as slaves. Dragonborn have zero love for dragons, and even probably less for gods because their prayers were never answered. So when Dragonborn showed up in Faerun, they had all the racism to deal with because now they're a new race. The pantheons are more active in Faerun, so there's kind of a jealousy there. And dragons, while they're not as like out there, there's not as many, obviously. They're still there, and the stories of metallic dragons being good and lawful is a bunch of bullshit. They're all fucking terrible. So most Dragonborn you meet will hate all dragons. So that's the backstory. Coming back into character, yeah, I'm not going to have a dragon fill any seat of power. That's just going to lead to more tyranny. The whole reason I left my clan was to get stronger and to make sure that never happened to my clan ever again. Hence the reason why I wasn't going to sit in a jail cell. I'm not going to sit around and waste my time when I've got stuff that I need to get done. Now, my goal kind of aligns with everybody else's goal now because a dragon can fill this seat, and not only does he have the strength of being a dragon, he'll have the strength of the seat, and I can't let that happen. So I don't know much about giants, but I would rather any giant fill that seat.
The Giants had the seed, and it seemed to be favorable to most people.
They're giants in the sky.
Only the cloud ones.
Hey, they like the sea too, man.
Fair.
Well, it sounds like we're going to be working together for an extended period.
Yeah, I mean, I can handle that. If I'm gonna have to fight off giants and ogres,
Orgers.
and
Dravis just starts having a stroke.
Does anybody else smell burnt toast?
Why is my left arm hurt?
Yeah.
I would like to insight check Drapus. Was he trying to say that we're friends? And he had
Roll an insight. Levy, what is your passive perception?
My passive perception is 14.
All right. As Drapus is talking, you see Sid kind of look a little uncomfortable for a few seconds. Large, 15. Drapus?
With a 15, I would say that you get the hint that I would consider at least somebody in the group a close partner.
Levy.
No,
Ooh.
Larch
What are you talking
thinks
about?
it's Sid.
It's Sid.
Ooh.
So Sid.
Larch would immediately think it's Sid from earlier conversations with Levy.
Yeah, listen. I feel like you guys got dragged into a whole mess on account of me. If I can help you guys out with this, I'll do it. You're the only people I've ever met who haven't run away in disgust. For the
we
most
just
part.
stand there to your face in disgust.
You gag to my face, but you stick around, and that's more than I can say
What
for
are
anybody
friends
else.
for?
So
That's
I'm
true
gonna stick with
friendship.
you guys.
Okay.
I also
So
think
if
we
we're-
should join them.
There's been a guy in the closet this
Hey,
whole
guy.
time.
No.
Goblins are back!
Ah!
Sid, are you okay?
Yeah, just the rot acting up.
Can
Got
I
that
roll an
itch.
insight check?
Yes. Sid, roll a deception check, please.
Oh,
Ten.
That 20, baby.
Something's acting up. It's not the rot. It's his ulcers.
See, this is where a
It's
second
that
voice channel would be
hemorrhoid.
awesome.
Wouldn't it?
Or I could just tell
But it would
Levy when
screw
we're...
up the video and stuff, yeah.
Or I can just tell
Yeah.
Levy when we're off screen. Or everyone deafen themselves.
Yeah, we can do that.
I can just server deafen everyone. Just don't listen to the stream.
do I have to deafen myself?
No.
I think you should know maybe what's
I think
happening.
I know.
Alright. He... As Drapus is talking about dragons taking a seat of power, Sid kind of shivers a bit and grabs onto his ankle.
Okay.
Now, do I notice that she notices this?
I mean, she asked you if you're okay, so you can roll an insight to her insight, I guess.
No. I think I'd be pretty clear that she's
I
not
wouldn't
buying it.
honestly be hiding it very much.
Yeah, she just kind of gives you a disapproving glance as you lie to her.
And like I have my tail flick a little bit behind the chair that I'm sitting in, so he sees it.
It just
Dun, 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 dun. All right. If we yell out enough, will they unmute?
Who knows? Is this where we say bad things?
Good to
Hey,
go.
Larch, what's up?
and
No.
that's why Sid is secretly a dragon.
Oh no!
what?
Shit.
No wonder you're in love with each other.
I fucking kill him.
It's not very hard.
Yeah, you guys just kind of see Levy and Sid give each other an eye. Larch, you
Quick, pull
feel
up the stream.
Larch, you feel a little bad because Sid's giving eyes to another person.
Oh man, I thought it was really gonna work out with the Drapus.
But no, yeah, you guys. What's the plan? So you all seem to begrudgingly think that this is somewhat a good idea.
I need armor, so I think we need to hit up this general.
All right.
Drapus
Shopping
can
trip.
give that general his laundry list of suggestions.
And my shopping list.
Barbed wire on all the
Shopping
sewer
trip.
grates.
Yeah.
And those
Um,
really evil spikes on all the buildings so birds can't land and drop troops.
But pigeons still land on them because pigeons don't give a shit.
Pigeons gotta survive, man.
Yeah.
Who's got a
Um,
pidge?
So you're gonna go try and
Advise them.
locate General Tandaris?
Yeah, I guess. Let's do let them know that we are accepting the contract. And let's fucking get suited up.
Suited and booted. All right. So you all head
Booted and scooting.
down. This is a large, multi kind of courtyarded fortress almost, which you notice a bit more clearly in the brighter daylight and not being mostly undead, most of you. So you manage through. There's lots of beautiful trees and courtyards and whatnot, and you find the council chambers, and it's lots of large offices, ornate sitting rooms or meeting rooms. You approach a guard, and they do a quick nod and they escort you to a solid oak door. He knocks, and you hear, "Enter." The door opens, and there inside you can
Just
see.
let anybody in.
There inside you can see sitting, writing some stuff down at the at his desk is General Tandaris, the same gentleman you saw helping you guys out of the pond. And he just kind of looks up at all of you. Oh, good morning. How do you do? I see some of you aren't quite on death's door currently, which is a good sign.
Sid coughs up a bunch of phlegm.
He said some of us.
I Dimension Door Sid to the trash can.
Wow. Just
No kidding.
using that already.
Uses it and abuse it. He kind of grabs a hanky and hands it to Sid.
Thanks. And then I hand it back to him all
No,
gross.
no, it's all right. You keep that one.
Okay, long story short, we were offered a position or a contract. We've decided to, all four of us, accept that contract.
Okay, very good.
I'm assuming you know about the contract.
What contract? Who told you about this? Oh, very good. Okay. And they informed you of the retaining fee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It was we were
15,000
told 15,000 per month
per
each.
3 months.
Or per 3 months. That's right.
Not each. Not each.
No.
No. Well, brilliant. Thank you. You are actually our first group of adventurers. We're still trying to gather some people up.
We're the,
What?
we're the only stupid ones.
No, she said that
you.
they're
We're just
trying.
the first ones.
They
So
said
we're
they're
the pilot program, is what I'm hearing.
They're trying to
Yeah.
gather a group of people, and you guys
Maybe
are the
we'll
first
get
ones.
recast when it goes to
Okay.
season.
Yeah.
So on these 3-month stints or contracts, are they paid up front or after at the completion of 3 months?
At the
or
completion of 3 months.
Okay.
Sorry, actually, it's half down, half. It's half. So half at the start, half at the end. So that way, during the thing, if you have any expenses or anything, you can bill it. You can pay for it and then bill it back at the end of the month. You're brilliant. Thank you. It's not quite anything important yet, but he kind of reaches into a small filing cabinet and pulls out 5 leather wrapped sections, and hands each of you one. You unfold it. Inside is a small crest of Waterdeep, and a nice, beautifully laminated paperwork saying who you are and why you're out here doing shit. So, for example, if you almost get shot by a farmer or something for being on their land, you can be like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
It's our credentials.
Exactly.
Adventuring permit.
Is
They're
this a
giving us
license?
badges?
Is this a license to kill?
Civilians? No.
Ed, you're asking too many questions.
I mean, if you have the
You first ask later.
if you have the requirement to kill, you will have to fill out some paperwork and such. But no, you basically do what you do as adventurers. I assume, and he kind of looks towards Drapus. He kind of holds just kind of eyes you up for a few seconds. I assume you're all of sound mind, and you won't go around killing innocent people.
Why you gotta look at me when you say that?
And his eyes quickly flicker away. But I will introduce you to your 5th.
Oh, great.
Fifth?
Yes.
We all love meeting new people.
Did
I
the
love meeting new people.
Did the councilwoman not inform you of that you'll be joined with a 5th party member?
No, she neglected to give that information.
Wait. Is this 15,000 per 3 months split between the 4 of us or the 5 of us?
It'll
Because
be between the 5 of you.
There was no that's new information.
Yeah, I thought she said between the 4. This is me. I can't remember.
There was never a mention of a 5th person joining our party.
Thought it was each.
No, it's definitely not each.
Yeah. We were told that we are offered a 15,000 gold piece contract for 3 months. We were offered, as in the four of us, all at one time in the room. There wasn't a fifth person involved there. So now you're saying that, oh, by the way, I'm going to add somebody else and make your payment lower.
Okay, I understand. I can bump it up to 18,000.
Who is this fifth member?
Uh,
Doing math.
Drapus pulls out his dragon
Yeah,
calculator.
It's 450 apiece. I
It's
believe.
360.
Levy
3,600.
passes her abacus over to Drapus.
Yeah, we still end up with less money.
Oh, right.
It's 3,600 apiece.
I was still divided
Yeah.
by 4.
We end up with 150 gold less each at the end of 3 months. Is everybody good with that? I'm just that way nobody's blindsided.
I wasn't
That's
concerned about the
fine
gold.
with
I'm
me.
concerned about dealing with another person.
Oh, we'll get to that.
It's on the list.
It's on the gets his
Is the
clipboard out.
monetary change good for everybody? You are now paid 150 gold less for 3 months than originally expected.
I'm fine with this.
I
Okay.
willingly gave you $7,000.
All right,
So
what about
150 isn't
what about
gonna
19?
bother
All
me.
right, the highest I can go is 19,000,
More math.
which is 50 more than your original.
Deal. That settles the monetary side. We still got to handle the whole new person side.
Does he or she have a strong stomach? I just sort of like scratch at some of the sores on my face.
I've never really spent much time with them. Their name is Colbo.
What do they bring to the table, so to speak? Are they a fighter, an arcane user,
They are very proficient with ranged weapons, as well as infiltration.
could be a useful member?
Are they sneaky?
That would be part of infiltration, yes.
In layman's terms.
So my assumption being they're not wearing scale or plate.
In layman's terms, they're a ranged rogue.
Is this person here? Right, like
They were right behind you the whole time.
He was in the closet.
It's actually this
in my
guy. He pulls
pocket.
up a mask.
Aha!
I am the master of disguise.
No, I can summon Colbo though for you if you'd like to meet them.
yeah, we're gonna want to meet him before we agree to.
All right, please stay, have a seat. And he gets up, and General Tendaris leaves the room for a few minutes. If anyone wants to loot his room or something, I don't know.
Yeah,
Is there like, where's the windows? I assume
There's no
windows.
windows.
No? Dang it.
He's in a broom closet.
No, he's in a well-fortified room. One way in, one way out, as far as you know. His chair drops out like Count Dooku.
He got Agent Mulder. He's in the basement of the CIA, the FBI, or whatever.
So a couple minutes go by, unless anyone wants to say anything or do anything.
Levy, are you going to be able to put on your nice bubbly face and invite somebody else into the group? That's a nice glaive you got there. I like it.
Couple minutes go by, and the general reappears, comes back around the thing carrying another chair, and in walks a leather armored gnome, and they've got short brown tawny hair, and they kind of look at towards Elia. Howdy, my name's Colbo. Nice to meet all of you.
He's gonna love this.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Large Hudson.
It's a pleasure to meet you. And they shake your hand.
Sid removes his glove to shake his hand. So it's really gross.
Yeah, no issue. They just shake your hand real quick.
Name's Sid Malott.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Merlot. You're tall.
Yeah, you're a cheery little thing, aren't you? You sure you're up for this?
Is your friend okay?
Yeah, he does that sometimes.
Okay.
It's a tick.
So Colbo kind of jumps up onto the chair that was provided by the general and just kind of sits there. Their legs are kind of swaying off the edge. They just kind of big smile on their face, hands crossed in front of them. So, what's the word, General? And he kind of looks towards all of you. Gives you.
Sid just leans over to Drapus and he's like, "Oh, Levy's gonna love this.
Levy's gonna kill him."
What are the odds? I give him 2 days.
So the general just kind of smiles towards all of you, and we'll
take him.
It wasn't, if you're getting paid, it wasn't really up for debate. The first port of call is the hamlet of Beckton. There's apparently been a hill giant nearby harassing what are the things in Holland? They
Windmill?
do the grain. Yeah, thanks. A windmill, yeah. It seems
Because they only exist in Holland.
Hey man, I'm
But
just
we
thinking.
all knew right away. Okay, we all knew right away. So, because if he had done this and said, "What are those things?" nobody would know.
Just wait till after the session. I tell you about yesterday's quote.
Things in Holland.
The only thing in Holland is a windmill and a woman in clogs.
And tulips.
Oh, you can't forget the tulips. They send tulips to Canada every year. It's beautiful. Because we helped liberate Holland. They send tulips to Canada. It's beautiful.
We rescued all the windmills.
If you're from Holland in chat, thanks. Thanks for your windmill. Thanks for your service, I guess.
Solidarity.
Thanks for your windmill service.
I'm sorry.
You keep the world going round and round and round.
Well, yeah, all the windmills are facing one way, so this world spins a different way.
What is this, Superman?
Woo.
That's a good one.
Yes, so you need to head to Beckton and see if there's any anything you can assist with, and hopefully deal with the hill giant that's attacking the windmill. I've got your 1,900 gold pieces here. Quick maths, and he hands out satchels as your first payment.
1,900.
Yes.
It's 3,900.
3,800 every 3 months. Halved
No, it was-
at the start, halved at the end.
It was. Yeah, no, it was.
It's 15,000 for
Split in
3
half.
months.
Yeah. Oh, so you're doing half each month.
Yes. No, half
Oh, I thought
for
you
the
meant-
3 months, half at the start of the 3 months, half at the end of the 3 months.
Yeah. So 15,000 divided by 2.
It's 3,800.
15,000.
15,000 divided by 5 is 3,800.
Yes.
Divided by 2 is 1,900.
So each of us gets
1,900.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't
was
like math
wasn't
fights.
it
That felt really
19,000
aggressive.
though?
No,
Yeah,
19,000.
19,000.
Yes, 19,000 divided is 3,800. Yes.
So I get what do I write down?
1,900 gold pieces.
1900.
1900.
Thank you. We needed that.
I've also been informed that some of you need armor. Apparently.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, I can show you to the armory. Kobo just kind of smiles at all of you. I'm ready to go. I'll be in the courtyard when you're all ready. All right.
Okay.
Nice meeting all you. And they kind of jump off and scurry away. As they walk away, there's no sounds of footprints, of footfalls. They're very quiet.
Is there a place in the city? So your armory can supply basic equipment, basic armor, basic weapons, stuff like that. Is there anywhere in the city that we can look to acquire something more than basic?
Like paper.
You mean like
Magical items,
the
magical
VIP?
weapons, magical
You want the
armor.
VIP?
You want the stuff that we
You
sell
want the
under
ones
table?
upstairs?
Oh, you want the stuff? You want the stuff in
Want
the
the
back?
room? I want the back room.
Yeah,
The one where
yeah,
when you walk in, you have to buy a bottle of wine.
we
sit
we
down,
don't
or a
put black lights back there. Don't worry.
That's probably for the best.
But there are cameras.
Yes, I mean for safety. It's
No
for your
touching.
safety as much as mine. I mean the words that I can say. The Solace Institute is probably going to be your best plate. That's where all the mages like to hang out.
It's just
I
the
could give
happening
the paper
spot.
there.
Yeah, man. It's just a mage rave. Have you ever partied with a mage? They know how to get
Just
down.
magic missiles everywhere.
Have you ever partied with a mage, man? They know how to get down.
All of
Okay.
them are rave scene kids, so they've got everything
Never met
glowing.
Other mages.
One of the prominent mages, they've just got cat ears. Just hanging out, just fish nets everywhere.
Yeah.
Wow. We walk in without opening the door, and there's just a bunch of men in leather chaps and stuff, and they all stop and look at us. We just slowly close the door.
You're the pizza man, right? Oh shit,
What's
no.
the-
Oh shit. He's a customer.
What's the AC of a gimp suit?
Oh no.
It's
Oh,
12 plus your
no.
it's 12 plus your dex.
I'm actually getting one of those studded leather armor, right?
Just an assless studded leather armor. It's for the movement.
I'm here to fight giants.
It's regular studded leather armor, but if you get attacked from behind, it's at advantage.
Oh no. Oh
stop now.
no.
Wednesday stream, guys.
only if it's the lady from Resident Evil Village.
Oh no.
Only vamps.
It's turning bad.
So we'll do some shopping off camera. I think we're gonna end it there tonight. You guys have met Colbo. They are bubblish, they are friendly. It'll be interesting to see how it goes.
I'll be dead in 2
Is Colbo going to be NPC, or did you hire somebody new to join in?
No, it's gonna be NPC.
Okay.
Gonna be Matt.
No,
Matt.
it's not gonna be Matt. I don't trust Matt enough. I actually want to have a competent player.
Sorry, Matt. We love
Matt,
you.
you're the new DM.
No. I was talking about all 4 of you. I needed someone in the group to be competent.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you done fucked up. You have fucked up now. You have done fucked up. Bye, stream.
Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Sorry I got a little crude at the end. We're just having fun. If
is the
you've
After Dark.
not seen the other episodes, you can watch it on YouTube, which you can find in our links. And thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for hanging out. It's been real fun, and I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and we will see you all next Monday. Bye.
Bye.